Heist, Waterdeep. We are back in the venture. I just lost the Martina camera. I'll try to reconnect it. It's coming back. It'll be back. It'll be back. We're in a interesting session. We're in Chapter 2, Trollskull Alley, which I think will be really, really interesting. Lots of downtime happening in this.
Fill Martina in and what happened.
Yeah, we have to fit you. You guys do. I don't have an intro, unfortunately. I gave up the intro to reread what happens in this chapter, which I felt may have been more important because this could have been a 2.5 hour session, or it could have been a 60-second session as I do intro, and that's all I have. I went for longer. But yeah, go ahead and inform Martina what happened last time and where you guys are at in the current situation.
So, Kristen, what do you last remember?
Okay, we were in the sewers, and you got real mad at me because I was an idiot. So you stormed off, and I went the opposite direction, which was a dead end, but I got a whip out of it. And then you were being attacked by something the last time I heard. Or got in a position where you were about to get attacked.
We walked in on a couple Xanathar criminals.
Yeah.
To which we promptly... Lord Narcissus bumbled into our room, too. To which we promptly killed them. Well, one of them, we killed one, the other ran away. There was something knocking on one door, so we just left before it could break through the door.
Really quickly.
And then we chased after, and we found Floon at the end of a hall in a big room, but he was being held captive by some, was it a hobgoblin or half-orc?
Half-orc.
A half-orc sorcerer who was taking orders from a mind flayer who had a intellect devourer, which is like this brain-looking dog. It's like a brain with dog legs.
Let me see if I have those pictures to just like throw up here. Oh man, I think I do. Keep going.
So we ran into him. You know, this is all like essentially one fight as we chase through after him. Then that guy is all like, "Yeah, take care of him, my minions." And the evil guy walks away, and goes through some magic portal. So instead of fighting the dog and the hobgoblin, because we're all fucked up really bad.
Oh yeah.
The fight starts and we're all almost dead. We just hide and let Renar kill everything for us.
Oh yeah.
Turns out he's like stronger than all of us combined.
Yeah.
So we just hide in the corner.
Oh, and
the
also,
OP NPC takes care of the work.
Yes. Floon almost died because of the brain dog action.
Floon almost died. It was great.
So we had to carry him. So I carried him. We almost died during that, and Redara was like, "Hey, let's go." I'm like, "Okay."
It's mainly great because apparently he's a super important NPC.
Yeah.
And it was much against Ed's will for him to die, but we wanted him dead. We almost killed him right there.
I was like, he's not gonna die. We came in here, he's coming out.
So we ran back, rescued the dude, went back to the yawning portal to hang out with Volo and bring his friend. To which Volo doesn't have the money to pay us, but instead gave us the goddamn house you see in front of you.
Oh yeah.
This is our Trollskull Manor. It's a piece of shit. Everything is run down. Everything's broken. It's haunted too.
It is the biggest house on the block, though.
It's the biggest house in a wealthy neighborhood.
Yeah, it's a very nice neighborhood.
It shall be a
piece
church.
of shit house.
It's just really run down and haunted.
The wealthiest neighborhood.
And we all get our own bedrooms.
Yeah.
And then we also make sure Renar gave us 100 gold each.
Oh yeah.
So
if you don't already have it, let me grab you. Where's your room? I'm gonna drop it in your room. Ka-ching! There's your money. Pick it up.
Gold. Where is it?
It's right in your room.
At one point, Antrang interacted with the ghost, and he didn't really take care of it at all. But he told me he took care of it, so I believe.
Yeah, just the tap room downstairs is haunted by a ghost of some
I think
former barkeep.
Spirit? Okay.
I tried to do something about it, but my charisma is not really that high.
only one who missed the whatever frog thing.
Oh.
And so then we hassled the shit out of him and told him he sucked at everything.
Yeah. Turns out the adventure really doesn't want him to die.
Oh my god.
No, it doesn't. I'll show that hand.
Oh, and we have a cat now as
Oh
well.
yeah, guess what his name is? It's Moosh.
I should have guessed. I should have been able to guess that.
So the first floor of this house is really used to be a bar, but it's kind of run down, and we can try and remodel it and open it back up.
You can.
How much money does that cost?
So for opening the business, the tavern keeping expenses are interesting. Let me actually, I don't know. I'm not sure why they didn't make it like a separate thing, but I can actually do that really quickly. Yeah, because it's like attached to like more information that you don't necessarily need. That just sort of be in your way. So let me just ka-chow, handout.
And Martina, we're having a talk. All right.
Oh no, yeah. There's definitely some roleplay. The first scene that we are opening up on, it doesn't have to be the first scene, but it's definitely going to happen. Yeah, let's get those traveling expenses up. Ka-chow. And also like profit or loss is on there, regular expenses, what it takes to like run the tavern. This is pretty much your tavern guide is right here with keeping the expenses. Yeah, I did tell you last session that there would be a rattle at your door on literally the next day from a one Floon Blagmar who would be there to request just to thank his saviors, I imagine, and that will be an encounter in itself. But we could probably do a couple other things and talk about a few things too. But keep going, Todd. Is that complete caught up?
Wait a second. The math on this thing is bullshit.
Well, what's wrong with the math?
50% chance we lose money, 50% chance we make money.
At the start of every 10 day. I mean, you're not always going to make money, so business can be rough.
Damn, that is some cutthroat business right there.
Business can be rough. That's running a business.
I don't know if our investors are going to be happy with this profit.
Well, it says, at the end of every 10-day, roll a D100 plus 10 and consult the running a business table in Chapter 6 of the Dungeon Master's Guide to determine whether the tavern lost or earned profit. So that plus 10 can increase.
I thought that was how much money. I thought that was how much money we got.
No. If the character spent point on promoting their business during the 10-day, add 1 to the roll for each gold they spent. If the characters have unpaid expenses, subtract 1 from the roll for each 1 gold they owe. So you currently have many unpaid expenses, so this roll is currently impossible.
Because I read it as it's 60 gold per 10 day, and then every 10 day you roll D100 plus 10.
No. There is
like,
legit running a business. Where is it?
I know. I remember those rules. I used those once. I used those in my
the running a business downtime action is actually...
It did not last long.
Pretty...
It's what happens when you give a party a thing of like ever-flowing water and they decide to open a tea house.
They decide, fuck this. Where are my downtime activities?
But I think we're all caught up, right?
Are we?
Anything else, Michaela?
There they are, 127.
What?
Anything else, Michaela? Are we good?
No, I just want to say my attic is mine as well as the library. Nobody touch it.
Yeah, we all claimed bedrooms. Last session. So you're in your bedroom. We gave you the second floor bedroom though. We figured you would like it because we are above you, so you can like come and go as you please, kinda, you know.
Right. That's right.
Not like you have to watch. It is right below my bedroom though. So.
You're in a bad mood and I hear stomping all night.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna be like my old neighbor I had in my old apartment that just scream in the middle of the night.
Oh god.
Man, I don't miss that shit at all.
Oh my gosh. So if we are ready to step into sort of, we're not so much stepping directly into the world, because this is going to be kind of a little bit different kind of D&D session. There's going to be a lot of talking about like the downtime activities we're doing, a lot of choices we're going to make, and I'm doing a little bit of style that I feel fits Chapter 2 of Trollskull Alley. And it's fun for some. Different, like some people are like, oh yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. It's fun. It's fun for some. The reason I'm doing the way I'm doing and what I'm calling the open hand technique, the open hand technique, is I'm showing you my cards in a lot of different places because I with Chapter 2, Trollskull Alley of this adventure, I feel as though it would just become more difficult if I tried to, like, hide things and let them reveal as they happen, because it's just a lot going on in Chapter 2, and I feel like it's just so much easier for me to explain it to you in game terms and let you guys decide and, like, step in on the story of, like, what points you want to actually act on, what things you actually wish to do, what you would rather skip, and I think we can just sort of move through that. There will definitely be roleplay, depending on what you interact with, plenty of roleplay depending on what you interact with, but it's going to be very much me going, instead of what do you guys do today, and it's like, oh well, we walk outside and make a perception check to see if you see things. It's going to literally be like a situation of like I'm going to present 5 possible things that happen to you, and it's like, or could happen to you, or things that you could see, or things that you could do, and you're there's that 20 perception. Good job, Rodario. And you guys are just gonna choose like what do you want to interact with and what you don't, instead of us pacing like every single second, because we're working in a downtime space, because you've just completed this previous adventure. You've rescued Ragnar Neverember. You completed your quest for Volo. You've also rescued Floon Blagmar in the process. The original quest, of course. But the big thing is you saved a Lord of Waterdeep, even though you didn't even mean to.
You know how it goes.
Yeah, and yeah. Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
You're
it was
good.
the cat.
True.
Yeah, you'll definitely going to be getting some attention. Some attention is going to be coming your way because this kind of act doesn't go unnoticed by members of the city. So we will be going through different things that happen to you as we step in. We have literally 10 days. We have 2 months worth of time, 6 work weeks in total to decide what we are going to do. And not everything is going to be perfectly linear either, because I want to get these kind of like down the line and see what we interact with and what we don't. The first thing I want to get out of the way, because it's very much background noise in sort of what you are doing day by day. I want to know what downtime activities you guys are tackling on this on this large span of time that we're dealing with here, and I think that's probably like on top of asking you what that is, like what your downtime activity is. My big question for you in this chapter: are you guys going to try to rejuvenate the tavern? Are you going to try to bring back Trollskull Manor's tavern, or will you do something else with it? What's that plan look like?
Also, just so you guys know, if you scroll up in our Facebook group chat, I have the group actions, or the downtime actions listed you can take, and then I have the pictures of the actions themselves.
Feel free to use
or you
Facebook.
can just ask us a question about it. You don't have to re-roll.
Absolutely.
Well, at least... Sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, as far as restoring the tavern itself, I'm cool with putting that on hold for a little bit. I don't know about you guys.
What do you guys think?
At least Selma's back painting and working woodwork, I think she would maybe like just start doing some little stuff. I'm not sure where I would like to start. I wanted to ask you guys if you like have any ideas, because I would like to use that as well. And also, I would like to hang out with try to find peace for it.
Okay, with the ghost.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. I think the ghost is taken care of. I think Martina and I, Lord Narcissus came out and was like, "It's good. I took care of it." And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm afraid of ghosts too. So,
so you're not even stepping down there.
Not really dealing with it.
What?
She's probably going to be working on her bedroom. I think she's like, everybody take care of your own rooms.
Yeah.
So Martinez will be trashed.
Excellent. What of Martina's opinion on the situation of Trollskull Manor, rejuvenating the tavern, or even rejuvenating the building in itself? Like, what are her thoughts there?
Whatever. Like, that seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, it definitely is. Is this like, that's just not up Martina's alley? She'd just be like, whatever, someone else handle the expenses and dealing with this.
Chores or something, but like extra chores?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Like, Rodaro will pitch in gold if she's got extra gold to go into it.
Yeah, if we want to...
As far as
the
renovating, she's like, everybody renovate the areas you want to spend time in.
So, I will say, and we're still talking in broad terms, like, I still want to do, like, the Floon interaction. That's going to be, like, day one, but right now we're talking in very broad terms of a large span of time passing and what we're doing within that time. I will tell you some general things. If you start fixing the place up and it's noticeable, you're going to have some difficulties. Waterdeep is a city of guilds. And the guilds run everything, and they do literally everything. There is a roofmaker's guild, there's a plumber's guild, there's a glassblower's guild, there's a bricklaying guild, there's a guild for everything you could possibly imagine. And if you try to do anything yourself without either being sanctioned by that individual guild or working with them in some way or paying them in some way, you're going to meet harassment in one level or another, and not in the attacking or anything, but when you're looking for things and you're like, I really want brick or glass or wood or materials that I need to fix up this place, you will find that they are not very accessible to you. You have to play the game in Waterdeep to be able to move forward. So the guilds are definitely going to be involved, and there might even be some... I have a couple of actual guild representatives that would probably knock on your door, and we could do some roleplay interactions with them. Not immediately, but there's a couple of interesting characters who would probably... most of them very interested in the tap room itself, in the tavern, and whether or not your plans to open that area up are for sure thing, and obviously them wanting some sort of involvement in that. You will probably even be offered loans by some guilds to possibly accelerate the process to get this thing up and running. The North Ward that you are in, this very beautiful, expensive area, has probably wanted to see this place sorely rebuilt for a long time, and it is struggling for taverns. The only other tavern that you do know of anywhere even close to you is somebody who will probably well become your rival. An individual by the name of, and let me locate this individual, Emic. His name is Emic. Emic Froon. Froon's Brews. That is the only other tavern within Trollskull Alley that would have any kind of competition towards you. Emic Froon of Froon's Brews. And we can definitely interact with that individual, possibly in the future, or he might interact with you. You never really know. But yeah, you would definitely be meeting some guild representatives at your door during these next 2 months who would be, asking what your plans are now that you've moved in, now that you're in the area. That's sort of like that's long term. But I'm preparing you for these things when they happen within chapter 2. So I think my main question is, and this is just the broad one, and I just want to get it out of the way so we can start doing some of the fun little minor things and more targeted, like, day-by-day stuff. What are you all generally doing with this massive amount of downtime? You should be able to accomplish most anything that you choose to do within the current downtime activities of 5th edition. 10 days is a big amount of time. So I'm just curious, like, what downtime activities you're interested in, and if on that list on Facebook that you should be able to see, if that doesn't fit what you think you would be doing, let's talk about it. Let's talk about what you would do, and we can work it out. There's a way to customize these things and add the same sort of mechanics to them to make them feel interesting. So yeah, do you guys need a minute to check that out?
So I have one.
Okay.
Obviously, since I already linked the stuff. I have one, but it involves Martina.
It does. Excellent. It involves Martina. And is this a downtime activity or just an interaction?
Downtime activity.
A downtime.
And interaction. And interaction.
And interaction.
Okay.
It's a combo. It's craft. I want to make Martina some better armor.
Ooh.
Aww.
So I gotta like size her up and everything. Cause I am a member of the blacksmithing guild. So
Oh,
we don't
yes,
have to
you
worry
are.
about getting harassed for that shit, as I pay my guild dues. And
Oh, yeah.
watch out for the giant NPC in the middle.
Oh, that's for me. That's for me to mark. I'm going to actually put it into the GM layer. That's for me to mark how much money you have pushed towards your end goal. I'm actually going to put one up for the. That way I have some way to mark it, because I will never ever remember properly. I'll put another one up for your, because you have to. It's 1,000 gold pieces to actually renovate the tavern over 12 days, and it's 250 gold pieces for guild licenses and contracts. And similar to how like Martina was saying, like, oh, I don't want to do any actual work, Martina could still donate money towards the cause and whatever she is actually good at, whether that's like fighting people or killing things or being just an adventurer or whatever it takes, to put money in the pot, I think is definitely a thing that anybody can do. When it comes to actually doing the building and the hard labor, the money is kind of the thing that's pushing that for you. So you don't technically have to be like, my downtime activity is putting this all together. But so yeah, you have one, Rodaro, you want to make.
I was gonna do crafting, and then I'm probably gonna do a couple crafting weeks, and then I'm gonna do some pit fighting, I think, for the rest of it.
Oh, very, very cool. I'm into that. I'm so into that.
And if anybody wants to join me for some pit fighting, down.
So then,
or if I could get convinced to go do some religious services with
ooh,
Solma.
that's cool. Yeah, we're gonna go 10 day.
Thumbs up.
Big thumbs up, nice. We're gonna go 10 day to 10 day and like roll out
Okay.
those, because each downtime activity is kind of like its own little Dungeons and Dragons mini game. Like we do a little thing, and it's probably best to break them up one at a time, getting everybody's stuff done, which might actually consume a good chunk of time. We might not get. I don't think we're gonna blow through chapter 2 in one hit. Yeah, knowing what you're generally doing, that's good for me, good for us to get that out there, so we know what you are doing during this very large amount of time that we're probably going to be skipping around in. Anybody else, Solmo, Martina, have you thought about what you would be doing during this 6 month or this 2 month period?
A lot of hanging around doing nothing, mixed in with sneaking out and then rabble rousing, so I'd be getting into fights.
Carousing is literally a
and trying
thing. Carousing is literally one that would fit, and the best thing about carousing is you could end up like in the worst of situations, or the best of situations. You could have won a bunch of money, like you can get a ton out of it, or you can end up like just poor and in a ditch. It's like, that's
How much do you complain about how bored you are?
Oh, so bored. But if anyone tells me to do chores, I'm like, I'm not that bored. Like a real piece of shit, you know.
Oh my goodness.
If this house wasn't free, I wouldn't live in it with you.
Oh, so good. Okay, so yeah, we know that. Solma, what do you think?
Well, definitely, Selma would like to. I'm just thinking about like figuring out why is the soul captured here and how can I get him. And
Oh, yeah, working towards that. Yeah, you can definitely devote some time to that. I think that's
Okay.
something that we can have be more underlined. Like,
Okay.
I want to give you the chance to get a different kind of downtime action, because I think it wouldn't take you long to learn. Actually, you know, since we're doing this huge span of time, I can easily tell you if there are more. They're not minor, but I'm considering them minor because they're things that wouldn't take 2 months to figure out.
Okay.
But if that's something you would focus on, I could tell you about that now, or we can wait a little bit.
Wait, I'm just thinking. She is also good in crafting, like with woodwork,
Yeah.
and I would little statue symbol of Estes, and just to like, I don't know, you know how some of the buildings like have it carved into the
Yeah.
side. I would just like be like, okay, for Estes, I want this mark on this house.
Okay, yeah, you can definitely do that. I don't think that's a problem at all. Like carving that thing out. Well, when eventually the woodworking guild would come to your door, I'm imagining if you guys are it will be I don't think this adventure really gives you so much of a choice. I mean, it does. You can be like, no, I'm not going to be with any of the guilds, but it's immediately like, okay, they don't get any supplies, they don't get it's like almost basically saying I'm not going to fix this place. But at some point when Woodworkers Guild comes to the door with wanting to, you know, obviously have their cut in, I think they could easily, and like these people aren't aggressive. Like most people in Waterdeep are just trying to go about day by day. They're not like thugs coming to your door and be like, you better not put that piece of wood on the wall. it's like a oh, how beautiful, and they probably would ask you if you want to be a member of the Woodcarvers Guild, and then they would want to work around it and integrate it. What's up?
Like Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah, like Jehovah's Witnesses. I mean, like in Waterdeep, the guilds run pretty much most professions out there. If you have a job, you probably work in one way or another for a guild. It's kind of hard to avoid. If you do something in the, like, there is literally a guild that kind of like surrounds like any kind of the religious temples. The temple you're involved with, Solma, probably a part of a guild. Like, it's really hard to escape.
Radaro would definitely fill Solma in on a lot of the guilds, because it's just that Radaro, when Radaro moved here a few years ago,
yeah,
she had to go through the whole thing because she's a blacksmith.
The
and all
whole
that.
process.
Like, oh
yeah.
God, I gotta join this guild. I gotta join this guild if I want to get that.
I gotta do this. I gotta do that.
I'm making horseshoes, so I gotta get this like equine guild license.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And also I'm thinking. Oh, sorry. I'm also now debating between religious services, helping the girl that I know, the priestess. What's her name?
Yeah, that's in that religious service should be in here.
I was gonna tell you. I was gonna recommend religious services for you because I think it suit your character a lot because the rewards you get for this.
Yes.
Is
there are some good rewards.
Pretty much doing
favors.
You get favors. It can
so
be,
good.
So you could ask a favor of the church, or it could take the form of the deity's intervention, such as getting an omen, a vision, or a minor miracle.
So cool.
At a clear moment.
Some of these downtime activities can add so much. So much. Also fun, Martina, I just noticed this. You were saying a lot of nothing. Relaxation is a downtime activity.
Doesn't gonna do anything for you.
Yeah, we will resolve these. I'm glad I know exactly what each of you are going to do. We will resolve them every 10 day that passes. We've got 6. We're gonna check mark them off.
If you want to learn how to blacksmith, you know, Daro's always looking for help.
Exactly, and yeah, you can always change your mind week to week too. You might get something out of a downtime activity already in the first week. Go ahead, Solma. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, like I would be interested in definitely learning crafting because that's what Soma likes to do. She likes to learn stuff. She loves studying. She does love things. Not like her sister who just like lies there while she is like, "Can you help me?" Nah.
Oh my gosh. All right. So there is so yeah, I know exactly what you guys are gonna do for your downtime activities. I think the first thing that we can resolve is a bit of roleplay, since we've done a lot of talking. Let's get that first day out of the way. Let's get that Floon Blagmar scene done and out of the way, because this will be enjoyable. So whereabouts are you guys on this next day within the house? Or if you're outside of the house, as long as you're coming back to it for the scene, unless you don't want to be involved in the scene, just let me know, like, yeah, where you are and what you're doing. When Floon arrives.
I'm probably setting up. I have Smith's tools and probably all that stuff. So I'm probably setting all that stuff out, like, just out, like, in a nook by the house.
Okay,
so I'm,
yeah.
like, probably going out.
It's gotta be, like, over here.
My stuff, bring them over. And I'm just like kind of out and about getting everything kind of set up.
Yeah. We're going to talk more about your neighborhood, which I think will be really exciting, but this will happen after Floon. The neighborhood is a good one. Cool. So we got Radaro setting up the blacksmithing stuff, probably grabbing a few things that I don't. Where were those things at? Like, were they in? Or like they?
You don't have to worry about.
No, we don't have to worry about where. Yeah, I mean maybe
she's from her old place she used to live.
They might have been with someone from the guild holding on to them for you. Yeah.
Well, her old place was like a crime scene for some weird reason.
Ooh.
And it was kind of like under like military control. So that's why she was staying at the Yawning Portal for a little bit. Yeah. And now she's like, I'm just gonna get my stuff.
Oh my gosh. That's so good. So yeah, we know where Radaro is. Martina, Solma, whoever speaks up first. Where are you? What you doing?
being a air genasi, just imagine like so much trying to get all the dust away, so everything like is
Yeah.
to make it like dust free, trying to like being really cool and monkey. And while Martina, I'm like, hey, you can help me,
What what floor are you on?
I think I moved from my attic because I took care of it. It's cleaner. So I think I will be at the first floor actually.
You're in the tap room in the tavern.
Yeah, I'm in the tavern.
Excellent.
Because I'm still curious about the ghost. I'm like, clean. Anyone?
As
clean?
you are, I think I can automatically right now, because I know it's first day, but you're going to realize this more and more. The more you clean up Trollskull Manor, the minute you push that dust away, that foreboding feeling still present, still very present, lightens. The more you clean and fix up the bottom floor, the more the presence of the ghost becomes more positive rather than negative. And I think you could probably, over this long period of time, maybe not in this very instant, but you get the hint, but over this long period, you know that the ghost in the tap room, who at one point or another will probably reveal that their name is Lif. Lif, a previous bartender of this place. There's two ways to deal with it: either exorcising him and getting rid of him entirely, or fixing up the bar, at which point he will become an ally to you. He will become something positive. You don't.
Pretty sure he's in Lord Narcissus' pants. That's what he told me.
He's in there. So like, yeah, even as you're removing the dust, you're starting to feel just that sort of caked layer of depression get pushed off of this area. So yeah, you were down the tap room. That's cool. Martina, where are you?
My room, like usual.
You're in your room, like usual. Are you like kicked back reading like a dragon magazine or something?
I'm either doing that, or I'm looking at myself in the mirror as I do some weird dance or like action moves.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like the floor. I think you have one floorboard that creaks way too far down and probably trips you over a few times. And there has to be a point. What do you do with that floorboard? You rip it out, or do you leave it and allow yourself to keep tripping over it? What would Martina do?
I just keep tripping over it like I do anything useful.
It's like, I'm never going to actually fix this, but it's the same floorboard that just sinks so low. Like, you can tell at whatever support point it totally busted. Oh, that's perfect. So yeah, we have somebody outside, somebody in the tap room, and then we have Martina on the second floor. Your guys, all of your locations would allow you to definitely hear the nasally voice of Floon Blagmar as he rattles on the floor. Hello? Is anybody here in this fine establishment? Hello?
Yeah.
I was instructed to be here.
I'll
Come in! I'm not either. No. Come in!
There is a door that you can go in from the back.
Oh, I thought that was a window.
No, that's a door.
I can walk in.
Yeah, you walk in around the.
I swing the door open with my.
All right, yeah, you swing it open, and there you see Floon Blagmar, dressed in beautiful, beautiful princely attire. His hair slicked back. You immediately get a puff of just like, oh, like you immediately smell his perfumes that he has upon him. He holds in one like a rapier that is all. It's all decoration. You doubt it even comes out of the sheath. It's probably just a decorated sheath that he currently has there. He has a pouch like a that kind of like comes down and is sort of like hanging like right at his side, like a fancy little like man purse that he has, and he will look and he'll go, oh, my lady, and he bows down. He says, oh, what a beautiful day is this that the sun shines upon your gorgeous locks. And he just like, he immediately
I have no hair. I'm bald.
and he says, as is most beautiful on most females, I must say. And he says, I am told that you, and maybe some other fair maidens, have also been my saviors of late. I was trapped in the sewers. And he starts trying to, like, explain the situation you already know. Captured after saving my friend Renar Neverember. And we are good friends, by the way. Practically brothers, really. I look like him. He says, I was there, fighting off the evildoers. When you arrived, I had just been defeated. They surrounded me. And there you were, to rescue me in my moment of need.
I like grab a broom or something and like bang the ceiling, and I'm like, Martina, the pretty rich man's here.
Floon turns and somehow slips past you, Soma. And as he slips past you, you feel like your hand has been grabbed immediately, and you can he has your hand in his, and he is bowed down, and his lips are already pressed to your fingers. He says, "Mwah! It is an honor to be here with you and these other," and he turns and he says, "This other fine lady across the room." And
there you are, boy.
He will turn and bow, and he says, "Oh, what beauty graces me this day."
I stomped down the stairs with a bad attitude. Like, what do you want? I was busy.
He'll look, as you enter into the room, he will look over. He says, "Do mine eyes deceive me? Such gorgeousness I have never seen before."
Mm-hmm.
By the
That's
way,
my
Martina's
sister.
like 14 years old.
Dude, okay?
He says, "You are sisters? Well,
Yeah.
I have had many fantasies, but this is one not yet fulfilled."
I'm also one of their sisters.
And he says, and he looks and he says, "Well, all of your beauty, one after another, matched equally, of course."
Tell me, Floon, who's the most beautiful of us all?
He says, "I could not choose. If it were I, and only a true man, of course, would say this, if it were I would take all three of you."
Well, Floon, I don't want any of that. How about you take your goddamn objectifying ass and get the hell out?
Well, excuse me, I believe I have brought but a cloud of positivity.
And start talking to me like that, I don't appreciate it. Back where I'm
Whatever,
from,
just like
you
take
get your ass
the
kicked for
compliment.
that
I don't
shit.
even care. It's fine. Whatever, Floon, you're
He just says, plain hard to get, I see. I must know your names.
Ew, so gross. Never mind, you're not fine.
And he says, I must know the
Where's
names
the
of such
initiative
beauties.
button?
That's my sister. And that I'm Martina.
I'm Lord Narcissus.
Oh, what?
Odd
This
name.
is a game when I get to be Raynar. I'm
Oh,
Raynar.
roleplay. I am familiar. I will go by Butch.
Do you play? Tell me, Floon, have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons? Maybe we can all play sometime.
And it's such a nerdy game.
He has a soul patch, by the way. He has a soul patch that is perfectly pristinely.
You didn't tell me he had a soul patch.
He has a soul patch. And he just goes, he says, "Now listen, I have come here with purpose, as most red-blooded men do." And he says, "I have come to thank those who had saved me with a drink in the local bar. I believe there is one, well, obviously we will not be drinking in this place, but there is a local bar not far from here that I believe we can, acquaint ourselves with."
Yeah, let's get a drink.
As long as we go as friends.
What'd you say?
This is just friends.
And he says, "Of course, most relationships start that way and only grow."
Oh, God damn it.
So gross.
I know these kinds of people. This is really making me
God damn it, Flip.
How lucky am I to walk into an establishment with three gorgeous ladies?
Oh my God. Like, I want to go with him because of the plot. But
Yeah,
I
I
don't
wanna go
want to go
too.
with him at all. I said, fine. As long as you're paying, Flip.
Of course! A man always pays for his fair maidens.
Oh, goddamn, Flood, one more time, I'm gonna slap him out of you.
Okay. Sorry. The feminist in me had to rage. Okay.
I'm like, I'm right there with you, Martina.
Yeah.
Martina's not a feminist. She's a piece of shit, like, teenager who's like, feminism is stupid, but
He puts an arm out on either side.
anti-feminist.
He puts an arm out on either.
But me as a human being am like, this is gross.
He puts an arm out on either side as he steps out of the porch. "Come, my ladies, a lady for each arm, and you." And he points to you,
Alright, I
Soma.
sock him in the face.
You can.
him in the fucking face.
You want to knock him out?
I don't want to knock him out. I just want to leave a mark.
All right, you punch him in the face, and he just, oh, and he falls over. Oh, my face! And he lets out a little whimper, and then he looks up and he goes, the taste of my own blood. So that's what you're into, okay? He says,
Lock him in the cellar, guys.
I can't wait. I see why they got rid of him the first time.
You know what? Listen, I said we kidnap him, and Volo pays us to find him again. That's all.
you jest, of course. And he just
How many
says,
more houses to Volo's
he
got?
says, I must say, you must be Redaro. Such fire I have never experienced. And he'll
Just walk out. I just walk out.
and he'll
Okay,
say,
red-blooded,
no ladies on each
whatever
arm.
you are.
All right then.
What?
I just leave.
Is he more or less attractive than the way he sounds?
He is. This is the thing about him. He
Yeah.
is beautiful. He is so pretty.
Oh, I'm on his arm. I don't even give a fuck. This guy is gorgeous.
Yeah, and he's
going
gorgeous.
for a fucking 15-year-old.
And he's just like, finally, someone with some sensibility. Your name was Martina, yes? Come, let me court you in the local inn.
I want to call me jailbait.
Guys, we're gonna get him arrested. And what are
Let's go get that drink.
What did you say, Rotaro?
What's the age of consent in Waterdeep?
In Waterdeep?
Is that the end goal here? That's my downtime action, is filing the police.
for the sake of my own sanity, they'll say that our age of consent is similar to the age of consent of this world.
Oh, poor guy. He's screwed.
I swear, officer, she told me she was 21.
Yeah, I'm 21. If you give me another drink.
Oh, God.
All right, let's go. Listen,
So-
let's get this. Let's go. Let's get this.
We
over with.
this is where I no longer have to talk as Floon. We see you, the party, go over to the local inn of Emic Froon. Froon's Brews is where you step into, and I believe Floon will one more line from Floon. I believe that he will open the door and he will say, "A barkeep, a drink for the fine lady on my arm, and these other two who are also with me." At which point, we see Emic Froon for the first time. We see a fairly tall, stocky, I would say handsome if he didn't have sort of the look on his face that he does. Blonde hair, grizzled beard, a kind of situation where it's stubble, but like it's just getting to that beard point. Also blonde. You can tell his features are very Nordic. He's a square boy. He has your typical barkeep, like apron on situation, and he's sort of keeping the inn. He's got a couple of people here. You could tell the place has a couple of really fancy points to it. Like there was a beautiful statue outside the front that didn't seem like it sort of fit. One of the tables in the room looks to be like a lot nicer than the other tables. There's like a really beautiful carpet. Like other parts of it are still like in the working. You can tell that the way that like the money has been spent here has been like on things to make it look really, really nice, especially from the outside. Once you step in, it's a little more average.
He's a human.
He is a human, and he definitely eyes you guys when you come in, serves you, but definitely seems to be very interested in you. He'll probably at one point or another question whether or not you're new in town, and sort of try to lead questions into whether or not you are the ones who own the new owners of Trollskull Manor, as he suspects. Do you reveal that to him, or do you keep that out of the conversation for now?
What's the look on his face? He said he would
The look on his face is very, like, suspicious.
Okay.
I'm looking to talk to anybody other than Floon.
Yeah.
So.
I'm
yeah.
just watching Floon closely. If he comes closer to my sister, he's gonna be strangled. Definitely.
I think there's.
We're gonna get into a Ariana Grande and the priest guy thing.
When
Like, I want the-
when Floon steps in, a couple people step out without him even really opening his mouth. So like, there are definitely people who leave, and he's immediately like, barkeep, drinks all around. And he's just like,
Yeah,
and he
make
pulls
it
some
all drinks
change.
you got.
He pulls some change out of a place you wish he didn't. In his cup, he has like is where the gold comes out, and he sort of like he does one of like the spice like ting ting.
All right, I got an idea.
I'm so in love. I'm in love.
I'm gonna start interacting with Floon more. Gold digging mode engaged.
Gold digging mode.
You're like, oh, he has money.
Oh, Floon, if only our tap room was fancier, you could come over more.
And he goes, oh, Rodario. They all warm up to me eventually.
Say my name right. Maybe then you'll get somewhere.
Oh, my apologies. The E makes it just that much more attractive.
There's no goddamn E in my name.
He says, Rodaro it is.
How are we doing
Don't make fun of Floon. He's pretty cool, man.
He says,
He's so cool. I'm so sorry.
He says Rodaro is a very handsome name. A more befitting name perhaps would be something more feminine, but I can deal.
Alright, how did you in this room?
Shots fired.
You
I
know
love
what?
this guy.
I'm not gonna take that from this piece of shit. This is what I get. I'm fucking gonna beat the shit out of this guy if he keeps talking about.
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
just
defend him with my life, this gorgeous rich
Like,
man.
so you
No, this
And
will
my
make you, this
shallow
will make him
ways.
like you even more when you defend him.
so you do beat the shit out of Floon.
I'll fucking flip the table and smack him in the head.
Yeah. So yeah, you beat the do you flip the table, just smack him in the head? Is it like a one-time thing, or do you beat him up?
If there's things on the table, if there's breakables on the table, I won't flip the table. But if it's an empty table,
I'll
I'm
light
just-
them up with my
I'm-
air powers and all the stuff.
I'm-
Go for it, Rodaro.
I'm
Go
curious
for
of
it.
the level. You tell me, because if it happens, it happens. Do you literally beat him, or is it a punch?
listen, this is escalating. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna come in here and insult me and objectify me. And
So,
all this shit.
Two things happen that I absolutely love. You've Ekel, your rival. Two things happen because we are getting out of this scene. We are skipping this scene. Ekel Froon already doesn't like you and already has pretty much found out that you are the owners of the new Trollskull Manor.
And Floon is his piggy bank.
And you, well, he doesn't give two shits about Floon. You started a fight in his tavern. He, Rodaro, you will spend the next 3 days in prison. The guards will have come at some point, because it escalated to that point. The next couple days, Rodaro is in jail and will come back. You can still complete, I will still allow you to complete your week, like your first week. But yeah, it's totally cool with it. And yeah, we would probably skip to 3 days later kind of situation where Rodaro comes back to the house.
You guys can keep going though after that, after the guards take me away.
The situation with Floon,
Like, I just beat on him, guards
This
hold
is-
me back.
it-
I break free at one point and get another hit in.
It escalated because every hit Floon liked more, and he's like, "Oh, I think I'm developing a kink." Oh, it's just like, I love it.
I'm 100% gonna kill him. The next time it's over.
Yeah,
Listen, Rodaro is murdered before she will.
Leave my boyfriend alone, okay?
Yeah, how does it? No, I want to know how that goes. How does that?
Does
go?
Martina fight?
Okay, after the first punch, I'm gonna catfight a little. My only freak out is that I'm a little terrified of Rodaro in like an authority way. So I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna be like, stop, and then I'm gonna do a bunch of like leave him alone, okay? He's my man. And
ladies,
then,
there's enough of me to go around.
Rodaro, like I said with the gold digger, that Rodaro catches on, and she'll be like, "Oh yeah, you're lucky your girlfriend's here. You're lucky she's." And I'll like, I give you a little wink too if I can.
Oh, do you?
Then I get a little too emboldened, okay? And I start being like, yeah, back off, you ugly bitch. And then.
No, I don't know if you heard it before, but literally, you will get a ladies, you don't have to fight over me. There's enough for me to go around.
Okay, this isn't about you anymore.
Oh my! So yeah, there's a straight on fight.
We said we had to get in a bar fight every tavern we go.
You're both in prison for 3 days. Soma and Soma.
My man, and I say that to the guards as they're dragging me away.
What
It
is
only
Soma's
lasts.
reaction
It only
to
lasts.
this
Yeah, what is Soma's reaction?
Because, like, you're super protective of your sister, and your sister's about to get thrown in jail.
Do you
Your
jump in?
sister does kind of deserve it, so don't forget that.
That's true.
I'm debating between it. Like a good lesson for you to learn. Is to give me guidance. Should I let her be taken?
What about the guards come?
The
Is it? I'm.
Are you gonna let me go
Yes.
down?
Soma, I don't know if there's a lot you can do once the guards come.
I'll just.
You can get in a fight too, and then join me in prison.
All right, guys.
You know-
How many guards show up? Can we?
You know what? Because I'm with them. I need to follow my sister.
No.
I use my power to be like, okay, I left Floon. And
Okay.
smack him down.
Boom! And he just goes, "Oh, that was fun."
Let's go.
He goes,
Take me, jail.
yeah, the three of you get taken. The three of you get taken to jail. You are sentenced to 2 10 days of hard labor. It only lasts 1 day because guess who bails you out?
Yes. Oh, my man's always there for me.
He just goes, "It was simply a misunderstanding. They can't help themselves. Don't worry. I am quite a looker." After all, he will. I think he'll get you out.
I'm not, guys. I'm not joking. If we invite him over to our place, I'll fucking kill him in my own room and hide his body in the cellar.
Floon also knows enough to look out for himself, so I think he's not he's an idiot, but he's not complete. He will let you out, and like he will immediately be like, "Ladies, I think last time was a little bit too much. I am a very respectable man. I couldn't court all three of you at once." And he says, "For now, perhaps we give me some time to breathe. I need my space." He just,
Yeah, I think.
Mean Floon. You mean
How tall is Flu?
Floon?
Floon's like 5'9".
He's so
Alright,
short.
Yeah, no, yeah. So like, I mean, Radaro's 5'1", so she does like the little fake out walks.
He just goes, "Oh my, maybe I will." And he just says,
I wish the intellect devourer killed him. I wish.
I will walk next to him and I like bend down to his eye level because he's really short. I'm like, be lucky that she didn't kill you, but with your language, she might end up dead.
he just goes, "Oh my." He'll just go, as I said.
Turning it on more.
As I said before, I want to give us all some time to cool down before we speak again. Perhaps a
I
few
can
10
cool you
days.
down. I will cool you down.
Oh, gee.
It's fine. Martina, let's go.
Yeah.
And I'm pulling Martina away.
Yeah. So yeah.
Bye.
Goodbye. I have never. And then we get like a scene after you guys. He's like, and he's like, He's like, "I have never met 3 such spicy ladies." And so yeah, we get an introduction to Floon, of probably the most misogynistic character I've ever had.
Dude, you know,
He is the ultimate fucking neckbeard, horrible, just
I love him and I hate him at
Daddy's
the
money.
same time.
Daddy needs money. Oh, it's too good.
You guys just wait. As soon as Laurel Silverhand shows up again, then Radar will completely change her ways.
So that is one of the days that happens. The next thing I think that we should talk about, and this can happen on any day during the thing. The last thing I'm going to do is probably the most involved one, because I want to give some opportunity for more minor role play like this. While I don't want to skip over it because it's too good. I'm gonna flip us over to Trollskull Alley, and you guys can check out that new map.
We just walked into that guy's bar, beat the shit out of somebody.
He already does not like you guys, yeah.
Can I go apologize maybe later?
You could, yeah, you definitely
Okay.
could.
Thank Because I didn't want him like, okay. Let's go. Sorry.
Absolutely. Let me
Whatever I do for you guys, what I do. Just
Whoa, that's a ghost. That's a ghost.
Yeah, that's the ghost. I'll chuck him.
That's our alley.
It's my
That's
future
our
best friend.
I'll chuck the ghost. We don't need that.
I'll call him Bob.
Here Very cool. So these are just points on the map that I have no reason to hide these from you. These are points of interest that I think are be interesting. I'm going to list them off, and you are going to tell me which ones you guys feel like you would interact with or not. And there are characters within and like things that we can like do. And I was going to say,
Rodaro at some point would go around to talk to the neighbors and ask if there's any shit they don't want anymore because we need new furniture. So,
all of these places.
Hey, you're getting rid of like a dresser or something. I'll take it off your case.
So this is literally E-Kill's place. It's right across from your place. It's right here. It's not marked on the map. I'm allowed to choose any place. I just think it's so great that he's right across, so it can be like moving the
Emic from the bar.
Emic. Sorry, I meant Emic. Emic Froon. So this is Froon's Brews. It's right across from your place. It's the current only tap room within here. So there's got to be some situations where he's like. He closes the door. Emic don't like you guys because he definitely will find out sooner rather than later that you are living there since you're right across the street from him. Let me get Waterdeep Day. Let me make sure this isn't a crazy. Yeah. This is good. This is some good ambient. So yeah, let's talk about these locations that you guys have around around this place. So we know where Trollskull Manor is. It's right here. Let's get Volo and Ragnar out of here. They're not in the situation.
They're Ragnar's cool. He can come.
Let's size you up a little bit so I can see you. Oh man, can you imagine Volo and Floon just like a Floon, a drink up? Of course, Volo. Just like why? By the way, Adam Coble, I will credit for that voice of doing the nasally voice for Floon, because some people will just make him like, "It's me, Floon Blagmar." Like, I love the nasally voice, and also it was because nothing in the book says that. I get a lot of really good, got a lot of good prompts from Adam Coble because he made him very misogynist, and I'm like, that fits this character so freaking hard. It's not even funny. So. It's perfect. So here's a couple of places of interest, and you guys can tell me which ones you want. The first one I'm going to get out of the way is you do have a sewer entrance that will lead down into the sewers of Waterdeep. You may or may not use that because this adventure will have parts that take place underground, possibly more in the future. But that is your entrance to the sewer grate that is within the area. All these other buildings you see, and I believe as described in here, buildings not specifically identified on the map are row houses that serve as private residences for upper middle class Waterdavians who can afford housekeepers, groundskeepers, and nannies. All these places are really nice. Your building is probably the most grand in the street, and it's the only one that's been like abandoned. So a lot of people have been wanting to see this thing work. So you will probably have some interest from other members of your community for sure, because you are the new people on the block, and it's exciting. It's like, oh my god, the old Trollskull Manor finally got taken up. Like, oh, who are these people? So you will have an interest right there. So a lot of times just walking and being like, hey, I'm new in town, I got the new Trollskull Manor, that's immediately going to get people talking to you. So a couple places of interest are the literal only shops within the alley, and they are very beautiful places. We have the Bent Nail. The Bent Nail, a detail about the Bent Nail is a small wooden sign hangs above the shop's main door, and it's bare except for a large bent nail sticking out of it. And then I can probably detail more about it, but I'll go for the whole thing, actually, because you would have at one point either seen inside these, even if you decide not to go into them. The front room contains displays of ornate wooden furniture as well as a selection of bows and crossbows. The wall behind the counter is lined with rows of finely carved wooden canes, quarterstaves, and shields. This place is run by an individual who goes by the name Tally. They are the owner and chief artisan of the Bent Nail. They are a male half-elf carpenter and wood carver. They sell wooden weapons and shields at a normal cost. He also sells crafts and furniture and wood sculptures as well. So you could meet this individual here. I'm actually just going to go down these places and just give them to you. Yeah, this could literally be a good friend of Solma. I'm gonna tell you.
Be his friend.
I'm gonna expose most everything, and because I think it's just fun, and then we can interact in that space. So let's keep going down the line. One of my favorites, Steam and Steel. During daylight hours, smoke and steam. Did you guys see my ping? Pow, number 3, T3. During the daylight hours, smoke and steam billow from the many windows around this indoor forge where metal weapons, armor, and tools are made. The forge is owned and operated by a married couple, a fire genasi named Embrick and a water genasi named Avi. Both are members of the most careful order of skilled smiths and metal forgers. As an armorer, Avi also belongs to the splendid order of armorers, locksmiths, and finesmiths. I won't give you the crazy details about them. They are both male, and they together, like, they are water and fire, and they forge together, and they are very much. They are very much the counter personalities of, like, fire and calm water, and they're fun to interact with, and we might be able to interact with them, which I think will be a blast. Number 4 is also one that I like. T4. This is Coralon's Crown. So Coralon's Crown, and you know Coralon to be the main deity of elves. An individual here by the name of Fala LaFleur. Is a herbalist and member of the Guild of Apothecaries and Physicians. They operate out of this stately 3-story townhouse, the 3rd floor of which has been converted into a greenhouse. Its translucent glass walls allow anyone on the street to see the rainbow of flowers blossoming from within. Fala LaFleur is an outgoing wood elf with long braided hair, and like the elven god Coralon Lotharion, Fala is neither male nor female. If referred to as he or she, Fala will gently request to be addressed by the name they. Fala is friends with a member of... that's information we don't have. I have to hide that. Member of...
Fala, who are you friends and associated?
Tell me. I don't want to give away that information because that could be something fun to maybe find out in the future. The services. In addition to non-magical herbs and remedies, Fala sells potions of the type listed in this potions table. She keeps 1d6 vials of each potion, so you can get anywhere from, like, animal friendship potions, climbing, greater healing, or water breathing. I will say she on accident a lot. I apologize. It's they.
Be careful.
I know. No, well, they be careful. They'll come after you. They'll beat you up. And then there is. I am excited about this one because I've never played in. What's it called? Ambidextrous. What's the word?
Ambidextrous.
Ambidextrous. Yeah. To be both sexes and not both sexes. It'll be interesting to play.
Oh no, ambidextrous is
both hands. Sorry. They're also that. Bisexual means you would get with both sexes. This is doesn't gender fluid. Yeah, that would be the answer. That would be the answer. This one is very interesting as well. Right over here we have the Tiger's Eye. This private detective's business is unremarkable on the outside. Its only distinguishing mark is an orange and black sign featuring a cat's eyes. Inside is a regal apartment dimly lit by flickering oil lamps. The door is locked and visitors must knock or ring the bell before being let in. I think it's more fun because it's a private eye thing to find out more about this the individual within their situation later, because that's just fun. Last on the list, T number 6. We have Bookworm's Treasure. This one's very fun. The front of this bookstore is adorned with a charming sign of a gold dragon curled around a treasure hoard of books and scrolls. Inside, the shop is decorated with a beautiful hardwood, and the earthy scent of old books permeates the air. The library fills 2 floors of this 3-story building, and it somehow seems to contain more shelves than the building should be able to hold. The shop is managed by a short dragonborn of gold dragon ancestry named Rashal the Page Turner, who lives on the 3rd floor. Rashal is the Page Turner. Rashal is a member of the Watchful Order of Magists and Protectors, which is actually not so much a guild as it is if you do magic, if you know magic, and you're in the city, you have to sign up with the orders. You don't have to, but it is in your best interest to sign up with the Order of Magists and Protectors, which is a very odd guild because essentially you don't get anything for it. There's no guild dues that cost you anything. There's nothing. It is literally just if the city's in trouble and you know magic, you have to help. Like that is essentially what it is. It's kind of like it's either you want it. Like, if you're not in it, and it's like, I want to get spell components, they're not going to be available to use. Like, oh, are you a member of the Order of Majesty's Protectors? Ah, well, that's about 10 times the normal cost. But yeah, the shop contains books of all sorts. In addition, Rochelle has a small collection of spell books and allows wizards to copy spells from them at the cost listed in the spells for sale table. He can scribe any of these spells as a spell scroll, but charges twice the listed cost for the services. He's got a ton of really great spell scrolls. None of you are crazy spell casters, but this might definitely be up the alley of Lord Narcissus later on.
Hey, you don't know Radaro. I'm like a master.
Radaro could, yeah, definitely.
Great wizard.
So that is those are the places. Those are the places over the next 6-10 days. Would you guys want to interact with any of these places and go?
Heck yeah.
Doesn't matter who, you could do it as a group or as individuals.
I want to all of these places.
Yeah,
Don't you dare.
you want to what? All these places? I didn't hear.
Shoplift.
Oh,
try to
shoplift! Oh my goodness! You're going right back to jail. Well, depending on if you get caught. Yeah, but feel free. This is our moment to feel out the neighborhood space.
I definitely would like to visit Tally.
Yeah, Tally at the Bent Nail. They have a huge name, but I want them to go by Tally. It is Tal Sylvanar Fellbranch, but Tally. Tal Sylvanar, yeah.
Probably pick up some cheap furniture, you know.
Yeah, you might be able to.
Get some clearance rack.
Sells weapons and shields, yeah. Also crafts and sells furniture. He would probably be who you are working with when it comes to getting, because he is a member of the wood carving guild. Because he's local, he would probably be who's bringing that in to you. So yeah, being his friend is probably not a bad idea, or getting to know him.
Definitely. As soon as I heard that somebody in the area knows wood carving, I would someone's definitely interested of getting closer to them.
Oh, absolutely.
Why did I do this?
So we see. so do we want to do Soma first, or are you guys going to be in the same places? How do you guys want to do this? Separate?
I'm cool with all of us going to this place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hit these.
No. It's more distraction from when I shop.
Yeah, there you go. Oh man, you can shoplift at every place. That's amazing. So, we enter into the front door of this wood shop, past that bare bent nail sticking out of the front of it, the large bent nail. As you swing open, you get all those smells of varnish and wood that hit you all at once, and it's an intoxicating aroma. Every piece of wood in here, the floors, the ceilings, the walls, everything has been meticulously laid out to be just perfect. Like, this is what you'd expect out of a woodkeeper's shop. You see that sort of large bench in front of the just sort of facing the door, and sort of like mounted on the bench is like a bow in the middle of being bent, and you can literally see Tally, who wants to kind of describe a little bit of what this person looks like. I want to give somebody a chance to, or you guys together, to just tell me the details of this individual.
I just imagine that he definitely has an arm tattoo, something like the symbolical wooden, like the wooden stuff that have like the symbols. I want him to have something like that going down his arm.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes. He is stronger than he looks. He has kind of a leaner build, but there's definitely like some muscle there, but it's hard to tell.
Okay.
And he's covered in like sawdust.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking like.
Can he
like
have
every time he like lets out a breath, it's just like.
He can definitely have a beard. It's good because I have a beard and I can roleplay a beard.
He's got a dusty beard.
He's got it's got a dusty beard. Yeah, I think he'll look up. We can see, because we don't get many bearded elves. Yeah, we can see the ears pointing out. He's only a half elf, so they look like they're not as long or as prominent. I think it's a lot shorter, more like what you'd see on like Frodo Baggins style. Like they're very simple points. He'll look up. What kind of inflection does he have a voice? Do you think he's a deeper voice, or do you think he is more elven in how he sounds?
I want all of your NPCs to sound like Floon, so don't ask me.
No.
No.
He has a deeper voice because he's an half elf.
Yeah.
So not quite like the elven, but like slightly like hinting towards the
Oh.
inner side of him.
I could try that. Definitely.
Why? You're saying Radaro doesn't sound elven? She's half elf.
he'll see the door open, a single bell, and it's a wood. I think it's like mostly made out of like wood, so it like clocks or whatever. But it's still like it's wood, but it has like the bell itself is like a metal rim around it, and it's just it's beautiful. But it does make the sound.
A couple of times.
Oh, what'd you say?
I open and shut the door when I hear it. I'm like, huh, and I like look and I open and I shut. Just
yeah.
Once too many, where it's like, okay, that's tolerable. Now I'm annoyed. And I cut right after.
They cut right after. Yeah, you see the sawdust filling his beard. He'll look up from carving intricacies into the still like bent bow, and you can see like parts of it are like he's preparing varnish in one side. That's the kind of what fills the room. And I think he'll look up and just say, "Welcome to the Bent Nail. I don't think I've seen you around before. Excuse me." And he takes off his I imagine whatever kind of like tarp or whatever thing or whatever what's it called, apron that he has on for working. He sets it down. And he says, "Please explore the shop. It's all for sale." And he'll step up he'll step up to the front. He won't directly approach you. He'll get to the other side of his bar, and then he'll lean back and just sort of look at you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Making it harder to shoplift. Is anything small around here? Or is it all furniture? 'Cause
Everything
that's all
sounds
gonna
big. Maybe like a candlestick? I don't know.
Fuck.
And he says, "What part of the city do you hail from?"
Next
that
door,
way.
actually.
So you are the new...
Trollskull Manor. Yeah.
I thought so. And he puts out a hand and he says, "Tally Fell," or he says his full name, Tal Sylvanar Fellbranch. Tally, you can call me. And he'll hold his hand out to shake for it. And he'll look at your hands and see some of the calluses. He says, "You do woodwork?"
Yeah, I do. Sorry, I love this guy.
He says, "I can always tell."
Romance option. Is he romanceable, Ed?
They are all romanceable.
Including Flu.
Including Flu.
Including the pity roll, the easy one, to make sure you at least go on one person to play through.
Yeah. He'll say, he says, "I can always spot talent," and he and he'll say, "Let me take a quick guess, not to step on any toes. You're looking for wood." And he'll
I think he just found some.
and he'll just he'll say, "I can't."
Obnoxiously to that. I'm like.
He doesn't even pay attention to that. He says, "I have to admit, I've walked by Trollskull Manor a few times myself, and I can just imagine the things I can do with that place, but obviously can't touch it. I don't own it. I'm glad to." He says, "I'm truly glad to hear that the place has been taken up, especially by individuals coming into my shop. I'm interested in helping you in whatever way that I can."
I hear you're great with your hands.
He turns and smiles, and he says, "I'm glad that my skill has rumored its way out into the city."
I'm trying to calm down. This is making me too happy.
Renaro shakes his hand. I mean, they give the half-elf. They do the half-elf secret handshake, actually.
And he says, "Yeah, he does it. And he's like, Good to see more half-elves in the city."
It's half of a regular handshake.
He says, "Good to see more half-elves in the city becoming property owners."
What? Do people not like half-elves here?
And he says, "I'll say, well, no. I mean, of course, we are accepted, as most people are in Waterdeep, but half-elves come from more often than not, we're born into poverty. So it's good to see one doing well." And he says, "I had heard that the place was purchased by Volo Gadarm. I imagine you bought it from him, or maybe he was just selling it?"
Sure.
Well, we helped him, and he wanted to repay us for that.
Oh, well, one way or another, as long as the Magisters sign the papers, it's yours, so... Well, that's going to be very interesting. I guess we're neighbors. I don't live here, but I do work here. And he says, "Here most of the time anyway. I might as well, really. I have a place in the back where I normally sleep. But yeah, as I said before, if you're looking for anything immediate, all that's on the walls is for sale. I'm currently working on a special order item, so I won't distract you from your perusing.
I take Martina to go like look at bows or some shit to leave Solomon alone with him.
I don't care about bows.
I'm like, oh come on, and I pull out my own like old hunting bow, and I'm like, look at how I thought it. It's like really boring. It's like explaining something that you just really do not care about.
He steps back over to his special item and looks at you, Solomon, and looks down at it as if you're going to be as interested in it as he is. And do you get closer?
His special item.
I'll be like, may I see what you're doing?
He says, of course. I'm always interested in any kind of critique. Always trying to improve the best I can. He says, please, come. And he says, the wood is a fine oak, redwood. I believe it was... let me just, let me see. What do we do here? Special item... Get out of here. He starts to explain the intricacies of the wood in his very, you can tell it's the skill and expertise that comes from his voice. He is absolutely and utterly comfortable speaking of the craft, and a lot of what he a lot of what he has to say. What do you? Where are you in your level of crafting? Is he beyond you?
I want you to touch the bow, and then he puts his hand over it, and to show you how smooth it is, and then.
Oh yeah. He'd be like, I think you go to touch the bow, and he's like, please do, and then you go to put your arm on one point, and he's like, oh, and he puts his hand on yours without even thinking, and he pushes your. He's like, this is where you will feel most the tension. The strength of the bow is here.
Get it, Solomon!
Get it.
Oh my god.
Man, Ed is much more generous with his love interest. For my love interest, they just turn out to be drunks.
He says
6 kids.
Yeah, do you just have... Yeah, what do you do? So, like, what's your level of interest here in interaction?
Oh. Well, okay, definitely... sorry, I'm trying to calm down. This makes me so... Okay, so... I think he's probably more better at, the smooth parts because, we as monks, we don't really look on that. We are mostly, with nature, making it naturally, look around.
Yeah.
Yes. So, impressed, but she's also definitely, for the first time in her life, you just see, on her, almost emotionless face, this, redness. She's like,
Yeah, he, what's great is I think in classic romantic sense, he's oblivious to this, for the most part. I think it's right now his complete interest is in, it's completely in the craft, and that's what he's focused on. But I think he notices that, and I think he takes it as you love the wood, the craft is what the craft is what you are just oh man, and he's just I've actually been doing quite well lately. I was thinking of taking on an apprentice sometime soon. If you're interested in woodwork, I would definitely be willing to take you on. Or do you just want...
Definitely Soma's taking this much more calmer than I am. So she will be like, I would love that. I would love to learn how you're doing. I can't even speak right now.
He'll be like, I imagine if you've just purchased the Trollskull Manor, you might be short on money. So I imagine getting it rebuilt and up and running will be difficult. If you work with me, I might be able to help you out. Use whatever money I would normally be paying you towards getting materials.
I would be honored if you could help us. That place can be such a beauty if we put our stuff together.
He says, excellent. How are you for next week?
I'm free. Yes.
I would just have to prepare the shop in a few different ways. Get the new station purchased that I was planning on getting purchased for once I got an apprentice. He says, if I can get those things ready, you would be ready within a 10-day?
Oh, yes. Yes, I will be ready.
Perfect. I'll send for you.
Thank you. And I walk away slowly, trying to be like, okay, better stuff, yeah.
Rodaro and Martina, what was the situation with, do you purchase anything from here? Do you...
I want us during that to be trying to steal together some obnoxiously large piece of furniture.
Make a... Oh my god. Oh my... Not possible. There's no roll. There's no roll that makes that possible to not be caught. Is there something small you wanted to steal?
It depends on if we're going actually. That would just be like he sees us.
Are we getting that?
I don't know. We're looking at the bows. I don't know. Any of these bows look.
The bows are fine craftsmanship. Yeah, they're all your standard like wood style weapons from the player's handbook.
Is there some kind of? Oh, sorry.
You're good.
Is there some kind of bow staff or what I can like get, which is more better than mine?
Oh yeah,
one?
Same prices. All same price. Everything in the base book, player's handbook. All of those items, anything that has wood involved with it is probably sold here in one way or another, and you can purchase it for the exact price that's in there.
Okay.
Mechanically wise, quarterstaff they're all quarterstaff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you could get you could detail like how he carved it or whatever, add a lot of extra stuff to it to make it look really really cool. Yeah, excellent. So Rodaro, do you and Martina steal something or no?
Martina wants to steal some. I think we gotta try and steal something, right?
Go for it.
Yeah. What is it? Do you think? What is it that you're able to nab?
What would even be here?
Like chests, like
torch stuff. I don't fucking know.
Like I think
a clock.
A clock, yeah.
Clock.
Like little, little intricate little ones.
Yeah.
I just imagine little.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we take a clock.
Sleight of hand with advantage because you have Martina.
All right.
With you.
I'm just doing this because Martina wanted to steal shit.
Yeah.
I wanted to. And then she leaves me.
Okay. Let me look at his passive perception here. Okay, cool. He's got commoner stats. He doesn't notice you grabbing... Yeah, passive perception 10. He does not notice you grabbing the item. If he did...
It's not something worth... It's like worth like...
Yeah, but if he did, it would immediately... I'm glad it didn't happen because if he did, it would have immediately painted your group and also Solma in sort of a different light for him, for sure. If you guys were pickpocketing, because he might have... The thing that would have plugged into his head was like, was she just distracting me to get to that stuff? That would have happened, but he didn't catch it. He didn't catch it.
Yeah, I like to think it was a lot of like... He was they're talking and Martina goes to grab something and I'm like, no, not that the other one. The other one. We eventually, like the whole time we're like arguing about what we're trying to steal until we finally just like quick grab it and like go as they're finishing up the conversation.
Oh, too fun.
Like I think at first Martina might think when she goes to grab something and I like smack her hand. I'm like, don't grab it. And she's like, oh, is she gonna give me shit? But I'm like, no, we gotta take something better than that. We gotta.
Oh my god!
So yeah, you guys nabbed a wooden clock. I can tell time. There isn't currently a clock. Yeah, there isn't currently a clock in Trollskull Alley. You don't get caught. There isn't currently a clock in Trollskull Alley that works, so this could be good for you. You guys haven't been able to tell the time.
We can tell time.
I think I'm just imagining the situation where, it's so, like, I've seen enough romantic movies where it's just like someone finds it, it's like, I have to return it to him, and it's just like...
Where did you get that, Martina?
What's going on? It just, yeah. So, you guys hit up that place.
The sad montage of them broken when he doesn't trust Solma anymore because she's still flying.
No.
And then they're apart but sad.
So,
also, Kristen, I don't know if you heard, but somebody's got a new apprentice. It looks like.
Yeah, in the next 10-day, he asked Solma because of her. So Solma was like blushing in the situation, and he mistook it for her love of the woodwork, and he was of the wood. And he's like, oh, like I've been looking to get an apprentice. Yeah, that is so. Within a 10-day, Tally is going to prepare for Solma to come and work, and instead of getting pay,
due to the business partnership, Solma, you can't sleep with him.
Yeah.
Wow. You're his apprentice, because then it's an unfair authority figure thing, and it could get him in a lot
But
of
it
trouble.
just
It
makes
could.
it even more tempting.
He offered pay, but he also offered in the place of pay materials. Like he'll pay in the
Oh.
materials to help you guys rebuild the manor.
We don't need materials. I'll
course.
steal it anyways. It's fine.
Kristen, I originally tried to get us to steal like a full bed frame. Like
I was like, it's impossible. There's no roll.
Like in
two
the
of us
background,
figured
you
it
just
out.
see us like trying to like get it through the door, and it's like I'm tilting your way. You're a side. You're a side.
I just can imagine if we get out of the shop, I'll be like, "Hey, Martin, please, can you just leave this place alone?" So, yeah.
What? What do you?
No pickpocketing,
What?
nothing in
What?
this area.
Didn't do anything. I don't know what you're talking about. So that was a bad
Yeah,
accusation.
we didn't do
of
anything.
you.
Did you do something?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
No.
Dad, we didn't do
No.
anything. What? You think I'm a liar? I'm not a liar.
I like, cause I have the clock, right? Cause I did the sleight of hand, right? So I'd be like, Martina, empty your pockets. Show her, you don't got any.
See, I'm not a liar.
I love
I'm
that this
sorry,
is how Rodaro and Martina are making up after their fight at them. They
Yeah.
just had to get that tension out.
Oh boy, I don't know this. I
Don't
will
worry,
play
that
that I
seat's
don't know
still
that it
coming.
happened.
So
It's still coming.
it can
Dara was
happen.
burying it deep inside her until it explodes outwardly for seemingly no reason. Because we
It
know what
already
shit's gonna fuck
exploded.
up.
So, do we want to explore any of these other buildings right now that can be the same day or a different day? Up to you guys.
We have, and I'll tell you again, we have the steam and steel, air and fire genasi forge. We have the
Fuck that. If you guys need
Sounds
any
like
smith,
a,
and you come to me.
we have Coralon's crown. We have our gender fluid Fala Lafleur, who is a herbalist. And then we have
Oh, I think non-binary is the.
Yeah, let's go there.
and we have the Tiger's Eye. So I'll go through all. And we have, just to remind you guys, we have the Tiger's Eye Detective Agency over here, which we don't know much about on the inside because it's very closed up until we interact with it. And then we have Bookworm's Treasure, that's run by the Gold Dragonborn. So yeah, which of these do you want to get into? And if you do want to get into one, tell me if it's the same day or a different day.
So one thing I'll say is I think we should hold off on Tiger's Eye until we need something, and then we
Yeah.
go in there and it'll be like.
That'll be
We
cool.
need you.
That'll
I
be
think
cool.
we
Yeah.
wait till like we're gonna actually get something from them.
Oh yeah, I totally know
I
that.
actually wanted to buy flowers for the place.
Ooh,
Like
okay.
before we even brought up all of these flower places.
Yes.
I'm interested in robbing the flower shop.
Are we go? Yeah, where are we going? Coralon's Crown?
Yes, please.
Same day or different day?
What's this?
Same day.
Same
Yeah.
day. I think Rodaro is feeling up on her luck.
Yeah. I'll remind you that
Out of jail.
it is a 3-story townhouse, the third floor of which has been converted into a greenhouse. Its translucent glass walls allow anyone from the street to see the rainbow of flowers blossoming within. There is a stairway that leads up past the townhouse itself, which is a private residence. You imagine it is Fala's private residence. There's a stairway that leads right up to the greenhouse itself, which is the shop proper. When you step in, you definitely get, like, there's aromas. There's always going to be smells. So yeah, you are hit, and in contrast to the wood smell, you are hit with the smell of just definitely beautiful flora. Like, yeah, you just get that like flower shoppy smell for sure. And just like the outside of the windows have like a moisture around them. You're not sure exactly where it's coming from, and all of the plants seem to have probably been recently watered. We can see little droplets dripping off. We probably get that sort of anime angle of one of the leaves where it's like focused on the leaf and you guys are blurring the background. We see a drop, ping, and then it focuses on you guys as you step in. And as you step in, I think you immediately hear the booming voice of Fala sort of echo its way across the glass walls. Welcome, my children, to Coralon's Crown. And an extremely elegant individual, beauty, definitely filling their features in everywhere that you can see. This is a full elven. Like, you've probably seen elves before plenty of times, and they are gorgeous beings. This one is just extra beautiful, and the features on them definitely, I think, suggest both sexes in the most handsome of way. We see this individual come down. Tell me about them, guys. Give me some details of what this individual looks like. I've given you a little bit. Give me clothes, give me any kind of hair, anything else, let me know.
Can he have like lavender colored hair, like really long lavender? It's like almost like shiny, but it's like it looks lavender, but it is silver, but it's lavender and silver.
Absolutely.
Yes, please. Thank
She
you.
wears a low cut.
They.
They, you're right.
I'm not gonna call you that.
Wears a low cut top and has no breasts. Like
Yeah.
no like defined breasts.
Yeah.
And it still looks elegant, but it's like very like rail thin.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm picturing them being like really tall too. For some
Very tall.
Yes.
like 6'8" or something.
Oh yeah,
Maybe
very
that's
very
too
tall.
Maybe 6'6".
Hmm.
And
Can he have like maybe flowers? Like can he have a flower crown, please?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely,
Thank you.
absolutely. Flower crown.
named after please.
He will. Yeah, he says that as he welcomes you in, and he looks you all up and down, and just sort of puts a finger to his face, and he just says, "You three, you are the new owners of Trollskull Manor, are you not?
We are. How observant of you.
You see, I have quite the beautiful look upon your little establishment." And he, I wouldn't call it.
that.
I wouldn't call it little. And he says, "I have looked upon Trollskull Manor for some time. I knew it when it was beautiful. I knew it when it was run down and made beautiful again. I'm imagining that you will do the same, bring beauty into my life." He
I love
says-
this good too.
and he says, "It's funny the way Trollskull Manor is. I've attributed it much to a plant itself. It grows and blossoms, and then dies, and regrows again from the seeds of old into something new. I imagine you will make it into something new." He pushes out some plants out of the way and gives us just sort of gorgeous, like, a down view, because the building is literally right here. So yeah, we could see, because this entire, like, from the roof is made of glass. You could see the view
You see
of
my
your
bedroom
establishment.
from here?
You can, yeah.
Be clear. Oh, that's my bedroom right there.
They will smile.
I don't know about you guys. I was thinking we kind of embrace the sort of natural rundown look. Maybe get some like wildflowers growing throughout all sides of it.
I would not be opposed to such things. It is in my periphery more than most other shopkeep around here. But whatever you do with it, I'm sure will be elegant. I am Follow the Flare. It is good to meet you.
Over here.
It doesn't. They don't offer a hand, but they bow curtly, and says,
Do a terrible bow back.
says, "I imagine by what you see around you, you can guess my profession. I am a herbalist. Looking you up and down, and not to be judgmental, of course. Apologies if I give any offense. My guess is that you are adventurers."
I mean, part-time.
Yeah.
Part-time adventure.
Aren't they all?
Only did a little bit.
Ogre. I killed an ogre
You
like
fought
by
a troll,
myself.
Martina.
Troll. It was a troll.
Quite the feat. I've never had to face one of those myself. And he
Oh,
says,
there-
It's not easy. It's not easy.
No, it takes
Only
an
the tough
expert
ones like
hand,
us can do it.
like Martina, here, our
They-
leader. Our
they-
fearless leader, Martina.
they say, "Well, I'm not unfamiliar with having adventuring types as my clientele. You see, I sell potions. Many different kinds. Those that can heal, those that can gift unnatural abilities, and natural ones." Says, "If you find yourself in need of such items, I am the one that would be able to provide those to you, at least within this close a proximity to your home."
Tell me,
Well
with Prop 1 recently passing,
Come January.
come January,
have
do you
10
plan on
plants.
He says-
expanding your
He says, "If you are looking for any kind of recreational plant, I do provide such things."
How much?
And he says, "Oh, well, I believe that matters completely on the amount that you are purchasing, but we can
Oh,
discuss
Look at
price."
Buy all of the weed. Alright.
Whatever. I didn't even want it anyways.
I do highly
Like-
suggest that if you are going to purchase, it would be better to purchase something that can grow. something that could provide for you. I know saying such things might put me out of business, but I like to see green thumbs growing their way across the city of Waterdeep wherever they can.
I like you, Follow. You know, I'm out from Nightstone, out on the side, and there ain't enough green in this city. It's super...
No, there is not.
Never taken care of a plant? Is it hard?
Says
Yes, very.
He'll get close to a plant and sort of like caress it like it would a child, like a child, like patting its hair. It just says, growing a plant it's a marvelous thing to bring life into the world in one way or another.
I have a question. I'm so much trying to see if this is giving her like a vision, like which plant she should pick for the house that they're living in.
Yeah.
She's just concentrating and seeing which one is the one that she wants to get.
Yeah, make a religion check.
Okay. Let's see, religion. Let it be better. And what is it?
9.
I can't see it.
9. Yeah, you start to try to focus on like what plant to choose, and I think you you really like looking around, and I think Fala can notice this, and they'll come up to you and just say, "I see you are perusing for a plant, looking for something that will fit the manor. Yes."
Yes.
I apologize. I don't need to read your mind. It is a ability I cannot quite help. Surface thoughts only, of course. I would never dig any further. And they...
Sorry, I'm just imagining other surface thoughts you're hearing.
Yeah, I know. And they'll just say, if you are looking for something that will complement the area, please let me show you this plant. I'm falling more and more back to Tally because I like that voice a little too much. It's much more booming, a little more elegant. So we will stick more with this. Come this way. Follow will lead you. What plant does Follow lead you to, Soma? What does it look like? This one that they think will fit the manor best.
I'm just thinking, like his hair, something violet it would be.
Yeah.
Maybe it has like the shapes of, the dragon flower.
Yeah. No, I absolutely know that.
So I would maybe like something like that, definitely. Yes.
Excellent. Yeah, he will say, this plant, this plant, I believe, will best articulate the essence of Trollskull Manor. It is beautiful on the outside, and it has every opportunity to blossom. And he kind of ushers you to get closer, and you can smell it. It's rancid. He says, it has a little bit of character to it.
I love it.
You can purchase that from them. It's probably 5 silver. So it probably won't take too much for you to dunk down. You can drop me a gold, and I'll drop you 5 silver pieces. Ka-chow. I'm putting them in the alleyway too. You'll have to find them. 3, 4, 5. You drop a gold, and I'll take it.
Thank you.
Is that what's going on? Kind of like that anime style where you have the scene in front, and then you can kind of see the background. You see Martina stroking a plant, imitating the dude, and it's just like, and just literally like kind of softly out loud, plants are like children, and then a little twig like snaps off, and she's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
It is
It's
in this moment that you're like,
another plant, and it's like starting to topple over. Oh shit.
Yeah, in this moment you're like, oh shit, and right behind you, our shot sees Fala. It's like right directly behind you in this moment. It's an individual like we see because he's taller than you, so they're out of frame, and we just see the hands stretch out, the robes. I mean, imagine like the very leafy designed robes open up and just say, "Ah, I see that you are introducing yourself."
Drop the twigs that I'm holding from all the chaos I've caused. Yeah!
It's just like, I am not one who doesn't understand the humor of most individuals. A very good impression of me, yes. I go, are you interested in this plant? Do not worry. The break it, buy it. Rules of most establishments do not apply here. I understand that my work is quite fragile, so I wouldn't worry. Are you interested in the plant, though? Perhaps the harm that you've done can be healed with a little bit of learning.
I just look at Martina like, mm-hmm.
Not break it or buy it, but strongly encouraged.
Strong encouraged.
What's it cost?
And they look down at you, reading the thoughts, seeing the stress, and just go, you may take it. For free. Bring it back to me, though, when you have fixed the damage that you have done.
Because this is perfect, because this is like spring is starting.
Yeah, it is. It will. It will. By the end of these 2 months, you'll be in the middle of spring.
Give me homework.
He gave Follow gave you homework. Takes the plate out and like puts it in your hands, very, very brazenly, and just says, "You are its caretaker now. Do make sure that it survives. Perhaps
I swear to God, Martina, that plant died.
Perhaps there is a lesson to learn within all of this."
Okay.
Oh, is this help you if that plant dies?
Rodaro, where are you in this situation?
Rodaro's not stealing at all. Rodaro wanted to cover. She is looking she mainly just wanted some simple like blue and violet wildflowers. They're pretty much weeds.
Yeah, do you have
things.
do you have a completely normal like good to like back and forth with follow where it's just like, oh, you wish to purchase this, of course, money exchange.
Yeah, it's very much just like, oh yeah, I was thinking, and I was like looking out the window, like just around the place a little bit as we get it mixed up, mainly, and like the window's still here. Thinking of putting some flowers on the window. If she's got like a bird feeder, I'd like get that because for outside my window.
I believe that we can definitely come to an arrangement of some form of partnership. You pay me in gold, and I can provide you with the flora and fauna necessary to... Sorry, I don't deal in fauna. Flora necessary to
where the flora
spruce the
is,
place
the
up.
fauna is sure to follow. So.
Exactly.
And what kind of deal did you have in mind?
Well, you can pay me in what we can, of course, establish as a fair deal. This is going to count for cost of bringing the place back. So, and
we can just say we work a deal.
I can put some orders in for you. Excellent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
So now you have established someone to spruce the place up with some of that spruce.
Because it works with our. No, that was the last place who deals with the wood.
Yeah.
He spruces it up.
He spruces it up. Beautiful. Any other interactions you guys think happen here? Or is this good for the for Coralon's crown?
I'm good.
I wonder if do you have any sage? Because I know the plant and I need sage for my praying stuff.
Of course. I'm imagining, have you guys ever been at the outside garden spot of, a mire, and there's literally just, an aisle with a thing, and it's sitting there, and it's amongst the thing? They have one of those, and they're just behind them, much taller than this area, and it's located right next to the doorway in and out. It's just this single sort of wood desk, and they're much taller than the desk. I love that. The desk is below their waist, so they'll just come down and immediately just put a packet of sage on there. They just have everything in neat folded packets put out there. So yeah, if you would like some sage, just probably a copper piece. You want to toss me a silver? I'm gonna toss you some serious copper. Get ready for some.
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll say it was 5 copper, just to make it easier. I mean, not giving you 10. So yeah, grab those copper pieces. I made it for a reason. We're dealing with this change.
It's
exchange.
So nice. I love this money system.
It is fun. It is fun to have. Okay, yeah, you got sage. Anything else, or are we good to move on to another area?
Are you stealing anything, Martina?
No, I'm gonna take my shame plant.
I love it. The shame plant. It's so perfect.
Can it be an ugly fucking plant too? An ugly, smelly little.
You already have one of those in Soma.
Oh, that's true.
It has character.
Like a cacti, more of a
succulent.
I have a thorny plant, so it's kind of like a semi-cactus, semi It's got a cute
already,
little daisy-like flower on it, but it's got a shitload of thorns.
it's already like really durable and will probably never die on its own. But like,
Only if you really burn it.
So
Like
good.
with fire.
So we
you
have
can smoke that, Martina. It's real high.
we have 2 other places that we can visit either on this day or we can say they are on another day. We have the Steam and Steel, and we also have the Bookworm's Treasure. Steven Steele being the blacksmith, the Bookworm's treasure. I like calling it pleasure, but treasure makes more sense. Bookworm's pleasure. This is the sexiest Trollskull Alley of them all. Everybody. And then there's your
Walk
dump.
in and get a boner.
Why do you think Floon frequents the place so often? Well, so many fine ladies on the street and men.
I'm sure Soma wants to.
Yeah, there's
Go to the book, yeah.
Bookworms.
Rodaro does not follow that. Rodaro goes home. But
Okay, Rodaro goes home. Is Martina with
ahead.
Soma?
Rodaro does not like to read and is bad at reading.
For Soma, I'm not much of a reader, but I like to steal.
Okay, yeah, you could be with you could definitely be with your sister. Do we want to like do a back and forth Rodaro? Or are you maybe going to the to see the competition over
No, I will never go there.
You will never go there. You are going.
Come to me.
Yeah, you are going.
It's a dominance thing. They can come to see me. I will not go to see them.
So you're cool stepping out of the scene then?
No, yeah, 100% cool stepping out. Think
Okay,
all
cool.
the time. Don't feel like you got to jump back.
All good, all good. Yeah, I wanted to offer it, but if you're good, we're cool. So yeah, the front of the bookstore adorned with the charming sign of the gold dragon curled around a treasure hoard of books and scrolls. Inside the shop, decorated with the beautiful hardwood and the earthy scent of the old books permeating the air. Every one of these things you come in, there's always like a scent to give it character. I think that's awesome. Yeah.
Oh, and the plans, I think we give it to Rodaro to
take back. Yeah. You step in and we see I feel like I could get library music for this one, and it almost feels like it would fit. Let me just immediately hit add track and see if I can literally type in library and get a good library track. I bet you can. Library. It's gonna give me something horrible. The library waltz. Beautiful. Ambient library. Please be an actual. Sure.
I'll just make book noise.
This will work, yeah, book noise. There we go, perfect. Alright, cool. Let's do it. It's so light. Like, some of these sounds, just because they're free. Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah, I turned it up a little bit.
Yep, yeah, turn it up a little bit and you'll be able to hear it. It's very light ambience. So yeah, you step into this area and I imagine like there aren't very many windows, so it's dark in a lot of places, and there's probably more candle light than anything to allow for reading to happen here. There's probably, what windows there are probably very, very long. I'm imagining a chandelier in the center, and it's very tightly knit. I want to think very Green Gots, like I'm trying to think of the word, not Green Gots, that's a bank. The wand shop from Harry Potter. Very packed together, very close. But we can see that it goes up to different balconies, and I think each floor is a wraparound balcony to this building. But they're all very close together. The stairs opening up dominate, I think, the very center of the room, and we can see hanging down from the ceiling all the way from the very top is like a dragon kind of chandelier, for sure. And you can when you step in and the bell rings, which I think also is probably in a metallic sort of dragon thing, we get a shot on it, ting ting ting. It's probably like the tongue of the dragon like pinging against it. I think we can immediately, you step in, look around, you don't see anybody. The place is mostly quiet. The only thing you can just hear, and it's so quiet in here that you can hear the flickering of the candles sort of lighting the area. You step in and sort of look up, don't see anyone, and then immediately you see the spectacles and the face that surrounds them of the gold dragon, Rasharl the page turner, and he looks over the side of the third story, and immediately you hear a poof, you hear a book slam, and the dust permeates in the area, and I think you hear a voice. One moment. Just give me one moment. I'll be right down. Yeah, You step into this area, and yeah, just books upon books upon books upon books, all perfectly all perfectly like stacked together in different. It is the most organized mess you've ever seen, I think.
God, it sounds like heaven.
I love it.
It is the most organized mess. You could see that on different shelves there is like the A and B and the thing, but none of them have the same like symbol. It's always like one is carved in, one's like a cross stitch of like a different thing. Like you just found different letters to like stick up in these different places, or one's like a metal plate with the letter on it. It's always different. So it is all organized mess. There's not a spot on the walls that isn't either filled with bookshelf or some sort of knickknack or item or trinket. The wood creaks really in a good way when you step into the room, and he makes his way down the stairs, which I think you can hear him coming down the whole way. You can definitely hear it creak and I think you can just sort of like hear that sort of ambient sound of like good thing there's no earthquake here, because the ambient sound of when like a room is too packed and everything moves with it, like so like makes its way down, and yeah, you see this short dragonborn. What is it? Give me some details on this individual, guys. Like clothing, scale, something unique about him. Go for it, Charles the page turner.
I think that maybe he has like this almost like a robe thing. Like, I don't know, just what I'm thinking when I'm seeing him right now.
I'm also seeing
maybe white, definitely to contrast the gold.
I like a little. You know how they have like little mini horns? They're not really like like little spikes.
Yeah.
But he has like this one patch that is kind of broken a little. Like he's got this cute little spiky pattern, and then just one broken little patch.
That's perfect.
Can you have those glasses that you like that are separate, that you like magnet to put together?
Yeah, he'll make his way down, and then he'll put them together, and his eyes get like a ton bigger, like they're and he looks takes them off, and he puts them back on, takes them back off, and he just says he steps down, and he's just like, I haven't had visitors in some time, and he almost has like a gasp of like, oh man, why do I have customers? Leave me to my books, like kind of situation. Like, he puts them together again. He's just like, are you human? Are you Genasi? Are you? Oh, well, no, I won't assume it. And he just says, sorry, thought maybe you were in relation to someone else I know in Trollskull Alley. But he says, welcome to Bookworm's Treasure. Please, and he shuffles through some drawers. He's like, stay right there, don't move. And he takes out a stack of cards and, like, gets them out and, like, they're all just dusty, and he, keep getting a worse curse. And he takes out one of the cards, and he's like, name, please, your name. And he'll ask for both of your names.
Martina.
Last name?
We don't have one.
Oh, all right. Smith. And he puts it on.
Martina the coolest.
Oh,
last name the coolest.
Oh, that's not a last name. And he just says, you. And he looks over to Soma. You give him your name as well?
Soma, yes.
He writes it down, and he just like he takes the two cards after like dipping the ink, and like it took him a while to get it started. And he puts it under a like a device that you can see. He pulls it out like a little dragon, basically a dragon stapler, and clunks it, and like a little dragon shaped hole chips out. And he goes, "Here's your card, and you as well." And he hands it to you. He's like, that way that you may take what books that you want and return them within time. Your temporary card, and he just says, you may pursue what you wish. This is the third floor, and all the way in the back is the restriction section. And your membership does not have the ability to do so right now.
How do I up my membership?
Well, you show that you can treat the books well, of course. Well, you take them home with you. And
we will. Yes, Martina?
And now I need a shame book. God.
Shame book. And he just like he goes back under it. Like every drawer has like a chain attached to it where like the key is still in it, and all the chains are attached to the desk so that he doesn't lose the keys. So it's like, what's the point anyway, having them locked? And he goes to bed and puts the cards back in and locks it up, and you can hear the chains jangle on the other side. And he looks up and says, well, why are you still standing there? library is for you to peruse, and says if you wish to purchase anything, I will be available. And if you wish to check something out, you simply sign the quarter over here. And he points at the book.
As before, Soma would like to see if her feeling is just that she might need to read. Yes. She's really about faith and something bringing towards her. Soma, yes.
Yeah, you start looking
Bunch
around.
of books in her way that have silly titles.
That'd be funny.
All these aisles
I
are
want to see if I can control fate.
all these aisles only for single people. Like there would definitely be a situation where somebody's in an aisle and you cannot pass each other. It has to be like someone has to step out for somebody to get in. They are that close together.
I
And
irritate the shit out of Soma by finding a book that I'm looking at on the opposite side of the aisle, so I have to squeeze in around her.
as you are at probably the second level, I think you hear him call up from the first. Oh, you look the adventuring type. If you're interested in buying scrolls or spells, you need to speak to me. You won't find any of those on the shelves.
Good to know.
Oh, and then I think we probably also see like a comical scene. Oh, and watch the bookshelf in section F. It's quite wobbly, and we see Martina. Like, don't let it fall, else you'll pay for every novel on the shelf. It just holds it.
Love it.
Yeah. What books do you guys find in here? I'm not going to stop you. Within reason. You know, you understand. I'm not going to find the book to the treasure of the Mount Doom.
Find the romantic section.
Yeah.
And then just get a shitload of like stupid sounding titles.
Oh man.
And then put them in front of Soma every step of the way.
There's an
And then
when you're in that area, I have a detail. Very much neglected. A lot of dust on the smutty books. They have not been touched by Rochelle. He does not come into that area.
This is legit literature.
I think Soma is gonna be like, maybe one.
Every now and again I mention, like, if there's a half-elf, I'm like, it looks like your boyfriend.
He's not my boyfriend.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah. What book does
Hey,
Soma?
at least her boyfriend isn't Floon.
Oh.
My boyfriend is gorgeous, okay, and
Y'all
rich,
some
so
shit
I'll
to your
fight you,
waifus,
I guess.
You know, I'm trying to friend, but I will defend half elf in it.
Okay, yeah. Okay, you'll get a book with a half elf in it. Okay, that's good. That's so good. Yeah, when you come back to there to check the book out, you definitely have to sign it in a certain place, and it does have to be checked by Rashal till he knows what book you're taking out. So, what's up?
And also one more book about maybe gardening, because we never really garden in our mountains before.
You can absolutely find that here. Yeah, you put them forward. Oh, what are you pointing at, Rodaro? Okay, no, never mind. All right. Oh, you're eating. So you bring him up, and he takes the book, sees the gardening book, and he says, "Oh, yes, this is a good one. I've actually had Fola purchase this one a couple of times. He, she, oh, God, let's forget, they, I don't know, elves." And he just says, and he takes out, looks at the card, and says, "Yes, I believe they checked this one out a few times. Only once recently." And he closes it again, and he says, "Good to know that it's being read again." And he says, he looks at your card as if he didn't give it to you, like as if he didn't just give it to you. He says, "Let's see what your membership level is." Oh, 1. All right. And he says, "You may take the book out for 10 days, at which point it must be returned and in pristine condition. Any damages will be fined to your membership and your name." And he just says, "Of course they will return. Perfectly fine." He takes it off and he looks at the next book. He's like, "Oh, dusty." And pulls it out and he says, "Oh, I forgot I had the book. I didn't know." And he immediately reaches for some sort of cloth and covers it, and he's just like, "Yes." And he pushes it over to the side. He's like, "Oh, another one." And he just puts it. He goes, "These are." And he checked. He embarrassingly, you can see the red come from the scales or whatever. He just kind of looks in, checks the card, and he's just like, Oh, he puts it back in, and he's just like, hasn't been checked out in a while. And he's like, all of these together then. 10-day for each, no damages. Really wanted. And he, like, the sway books, he says, he looks at sway books, he's like, these could probably go for maybe 2 10 days. You can return those later.
Mister?
Oh, yes?
I don't know what to get. What should I get?
He says, is this not what you have acquired here? These are not the books that you have. Is there something else that you're interested in? I could help you peruse the library.
That's smutty stuff. What?
Oh,
What do you read? What do you read, dude? Like, can I read it?
What do I read? Well, I was actually looking into a recent novel, and he starts to go into a historical I imagine like a collection of academic papers on the sewer systems of Waterdeep of old, and he's just like, quite an interesting piece of knowledge, exactly how they formed those places long ago. The city is actually almost built on top of itself, as if the old city died away and the new one was built ahead. Those many words that I was very interested in learning more of. The academics of old, they use almost a different kind of vocabulary, as it just goes and goes.
Sure, I'll do something like that, I guess.
Yeah. And he says, an academic novel on the sewer systems of Waterdeep, coming right up. And he'll go up the stairs and bring out this huge book, and they're just like, he's like, well, this one I'll want back quite soon. In fact, it would probably be best if this is back within a couple of days, maybe 2. I have not finished reading it yet, and though I'm
days? I'm busy. What if I'm not done reading it?
Well, then you can't have it. He takes it off the table, holds it close.
Then give me something else, like something I can have that's like it.
He looks over to the smutty books. Perhaps those are more your.
I don't want the smutty books, okay? That's what you like.
Well, what do
smart.
you want?
I can read smart people's things. Fine, I'll read that. Okay? Give it. I want it. And I start to like read.
No, this is mine. And he just.
You said you could have it.
and he just says, yeah. Do you like? Do you want to like strength check with this dude?
Yes, I do.
Yes, please. Yeah, let's do a strength versus.
About to breathe fire on your ass.
Destroy the shit out of you, man. Okay,
Strength and strength. All right, let's see what he's got. You rolled a resounding 6, a 10. And you wrest it out of his arms, and he's just like, now I will not condone any kind of aggression within my doors. If you want it so badly, then you may read it, but I wish it were to be returned within a due time. Fine, a 10-day.
Turn it within due time.
Martina?
That book's never
Excuse me.
returned.
Did you just insult me?
I'm so sorry,
No, I
sir.
didn't.
She's
Sorry for giving you attitude.
Apology
That's right.
accepted for now. And he says, I do hope when I get that book returned there aren't any damages. I will be looking them over quite articulately.
We're really grateful, sir. Thank you so much.
I could revoke a membership if I wanted to. He just,
Of course.
he allows you to check out these books, allows you to leave, and I think just keeps an eye on the book in Martina's hand, this huge tome. And just remember, treat them with utmost care.
Well, care, I heard it.
He just seems absolutely nervous, and he's just like, my book.
And then I'm using it as like a little tray for my shameless.
Oh my god! The minute you leave, we can just see the nervousness hit this dragon, this gold dragonborn's face, and he's just like, he's pacing the fact that like a book has left his library, and he's just like, oh, I wonder if they're treating it well. Maybe I should stop by. Oh, where are they located? Oh, they didn't put an address on the card. Dang it! He just...
I'll just be like, Martina, please take care of that book.
Take care of the book, okay?
You've seen him. He looked really nervous.
Oh my
Read
god.
this book better than he could anyways.
Prove him, Dad. Try to read it as quickly as you can.
I can read it real fast.
Really?
Excellent.
I can.
I don't care. I can do it.
Okay, we shall see.
So we see you guys. We see you guys heading back to Trollskull Manor, thoroughly meeting all of your neighbors. I think maybe you pass by the Tiger's Eye Detective Agency, take a look at it, but don't step into there just so quickly. And I think you guys don't get this, but we as audience get a shot of the
Curtain?
the curtain, yeah, just peeking open and looking in, and then immediately close. Like, we don't see I think we see the shadow of like detective like behind, like what we assume like this is gonna be like our Bruce Wayne character.
Please be a gnome.
Please be a gnome. That's so good. Yeah, and it closes. Oh man, yeah, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Maybe, we don't know. and we don't get to see inside. We just see the glimmer of eyes, possibly even cat's eyes kind of situation, just to fit that whole like cat thing. It's good. Yeah, you guys head back into Trollskull Manor, and we dip back. So we dip out of this day that we see the party sort of getting to know their neighbors within Trollskull Alley, and we have a ton of downtime available to us. Yeah, we have a ton of downtime available to us. As I said, we have a whole 6-10 days. That's 2 months, 60 days total to be around. And we already established what we'll be doing on those 10 days. But there's one more thing that is going to come your way. Probably the part that is most interesting and will fill the most time in this chapter if you guys decide to engage. And remember that you don't have to. You are all going to be contacted by 5 different factions of the Forgotten Realms within the city.
Oh god, if those goddamn Harpers show up, fucking don't answer the door.
You will be...
Don't answer the fucking door.
You will be contacted by them in different ways. Those individuals, and I'm going to tell you what they are, and I'm going to ask which ones you guys are interested in, because each of them has a way that they would contact you, which we can detail more if you're interested. But I'm going to give you, like I said before, the open hand technique. I'm going to be showing you guys a lot more than a normal D&D session would allow, because I think it's already worked very successfully here in Trollskull Alley to just let you know what these places are and let you guys engage. So I think the places that the individuals that are going to contact you, and you can put together that these individuals are contacting you because of your quest with Volo, especially the fact that you saved Raynar Neverember. That is what really echoes through as you guys being potential. Basically, like this is not going to count against your downtime activity. This is like the adventuring like options, like to be adventuring during this downtime and what you are doing. The different factions are going to come at all of you in whatever way that you decide, but they are focused on the individual rather than the party as a whole. So it's up to you guys. You guys could be all from different factions or be affiliated with. You don't technically have to join up. Some of them you do, some of them you don't. So the ones that we have are Force Grey. Force Grey is an interesting faction in the fact that they are kind of the adventuring company of Waterdeep. They are led by the Black Staff of the city. The Black Staff being the main, like the head of it, like the Archmage of the city. The current Black Staff is named Vajra Safar. Her art is absolutely astonishing, and I need to show it to you guys. I love it so much.
Black Staff.
Yes.
She's cool.
Yes.
That's the time where we tried to be like in the Storm King's Thunder, where we're like, please, max level wizard, please help us.
Oh,
like,
wow, she's so strong. But the
so strong.
Yeah, she's so strong.
Her
The
staff so black.
staff so black, so good.
Wow,
This character's amazing.
Of course.
Stop it, nerd. She's awesome. I love this character more than anything. She will be contacting you in a very, actually, really super cool way. If one of you are interested in Force Grey, we can step down that, instead of me just being like, they all come at you at once, like boom, 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 boom.
Can we just invite them all at once?
I want you guys. It will not work that way. I can guarantee it. I want you guys to. I definitely want you guys to. just choose whichever factions you find most interesting. So yeah, Force Grey has Vajra Safar, and they are very much, yeah, like I said, the adventuring company of the city. The Force Grey itself has done many good things across Forgotten Realms to stop bad things from happening to the realms. And Vajra Safar has proven herself a very wise and powerful leader. And the Force Grey has prospered in her hands after the Blackstaff was handed down to her within probably recent 50 years or so. Or probably, no, not 50 years. Probably much more recent than that, because I believe Vajra is human. Yeah, so much more, because Vajra's quite young, but she's been doing quite a good job, and it's a very prominent part of the city. Yeah, probably a lot shorter. Perfect. The others that will contact you are possibly the Emerald Enclave. Now, this is a faction that is very much promoting nature over civilization, but also sort of the nature and civilization coming together in some way. More, I would say that they're kind of like civilization, get out of the way so nature could do its thing. That's very Emerald Enclave. You're going to see a lot of druids in this area. You're going to see a lot of ranger types in this area. People who like to preserve the natural world are going to be with the Emerald Enclave. All of these have really interesting ways, but I don't want to give away too much. I want you to be able to pick which ones you want to do. So there's Force Grey, Emerald Enclaves. The most secret organization that is not secret at all. Harpers will also have a way to contact you. They will also be interested in using your work. And the Harpers, being a secret organization that they are skilled in keeping. They are more, where the Emerald Enclave is like nature. Harpers are very much like, we need to get a balance between the two, and the biggest thing the Harpers have is tyranny. No tyranny. Like they do not want like one side to get too much more powerful than the other. They want perfect balance, and they also
don't do anything. They just say they're going to do stuff. They just watch and try and get other people to do stuff.
That is all of these, and I will explain right now, and you can pick up me if you want. I know you will, but like in most D&D adventures, it will seem like, well, why don't you just do this? Like, you guys are the main focus of the story. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of each of these factions are going to have a laundry list of some sort for you, but I can promise you that I think all of it is fairly interesting, and all of it pays too, so you can get some extra coin outside of what your downtime will do. So yeah, we've got the Force Grey, Emerald Enclave, and the Harpers. The reason I gave you Vajra Safar and I'm not giving you these other ones is Vajra Safar is common knowledge. That is the Blackstaff of the city. You would know that she runs Force Grey. The next one on the list would be the Lord's Alliance. So the Lord's Alliance is very much civilization beating out nature. Like, we have to survive, we have to stay civilized, we have to make the world safe. The Lord's Alliance is probably the one with the biggest pockets and the biggest hands. Think of the Lord's Alliance as being a little bit 1%y. A little bit. They are kind of they're in Faerun. There aren't really countries. It's very much just sort of city-states trying to survive out in the wilderness. And the Lord's Alliance does its best to sort of keep these city-states in accordance with each other. You are, if you get with these guys, I would definitely expect. I mean, they want what's best for this. They want what's best for the cities and the civilization of the world, and all of these factions that I'm presenting to you, unless I specify, Force Grey, Emerald Enclave, Harpers, Lord's Alliance, very good aligned, very pushing for good morals and good things to happen. Though some of them would argue. Yes.
Represented by Laurel Silverhand.
It is. Laurel Silverhand is a member of the Lord's Alliance, along with the city itself.
The same NPC twice, back-to-back campaigns.
Yes, we gotta get that romance back going for this character as well.
Gotta re-romance because I killed off my other character.
I know. Laurel Silverhand is such a cool character too. I loved when you involved. So shut up. Man, Flume's had a bad influence on you, Tom. No more. We're gonna cut the misogyny.
Hey, that's my Aldred Red Axe talk.
That's my old. Yeah, it is, isn't it? You're young.
My misogynistic old character.
You're young and foolish sorcerer with casting too many fire walls.
Too many firewalls.
That are all far too complicated. Next on the list, so there are 6 factions, and I know it might be a lot to keep up with. You can always keep asking me. Next on the list is the Order of the Gauntlet. The Order of the Gauntlet is definitely, if you are looking to go down more of the religious sort of area, the Order of the Gauntlet is very much about connecting people back with their gods. They have gods that they worship the most, which is Helm, Torm, and Tyr. They are the ideal, what they would perceive as the ideal form of good, justice, and righteousness, fighting against the evil forces of the world. They go a little bit further than the Lords of Alliance. The difference between the Lords of Alliance is more like, we have to keep civilization going. What would we do without the money? And Order of the Gauntlet is more just like, we must save the world for justice, for the good of mankind. And so that is more Order of the Gauntlet style.
They are the most zealous goody boys.
They are very zealous
They
goody
are the
two
Boy
shoes.
Scouts.
They are the Boy Scouts. Yeah, you're looking at goody two shoes with the Order of the Gauntlet for sure. And then we have everybody's favorite, the Zentarum, the Black Network. The Zentarum. These are probably, out of all these factions, this is the only faction that is very, I would say, they blur the lines of good and evil. The Black Network does what it needs to do to keep itself surviving, and the people who join in with them, you're very much considered a part of the family. And you are, it is like a mafia. The Zentarum is very much the easy way out in some ways, but you're going to blur the line between, like, whether or not crime, Martina, I'm looking at you, not like crime, or like, they will say they're doing things for the good of humanity and the good of, like, or humanoid kind, or civilization or nature. They'll be like, oh no, yeah, we love both, but it's very much like, how do we keep our profit in the black? So those are the factions. I can tell you a little bit about why each of... What's up?
The Zentarum are also the people who are getting their asses kicked at every turn in that first adventure.
In that
the
first adventure.
And the Zentarum. And like that warehouse we broke into was a Zentarum warehouse.
Yeah.
That was like murdered by the Xanathar. So if you want to be with a bunch of weak boys.
Yeah. So let me give you also, so I've told you what all the factions are, and let me give you a brief thing as to like who they kind of contact and like why, just to give you an idea of like which one might fit you. Force Grey could be for any of you. That is the catch-all. If you're an adventurer, Vajra Blackstaff is interested in what you might have to offer the city. The Emerald Enclave takes an interest in characters who seek to preserve the balance within Waterdeep, particular clerics of nature, druids and rangers. Any such character could be visited or contacted by the Emerald Enclave. Some of these I've already established. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. The Harpers will approach lawful aligned characters who show promise as possible spies. It says good aligned characters, but I like to like let good and evil kind of go to the side a little bit. But good or lawful aligned characters, I think, are definitely up the Harper's alley. The Lord's Alliance, characters who place the security of the city and the realm ahead of their own interests are invited to join this faction. Potential recruits must be residents of Waterdeep as well, so some of these have some requirements. The order. Oh man, that just keeps fitting Rodaro. The order of the Gauntlet looks for members who seek to fight evil in all of its forms. Adventurers who worship Helm, Torm, or Tyr are especially sought after. And the Zentarum look for, and it says evil aligned. It says evil aligned, but I will say chaotic aligned also. Morally ambiguous characters they'll search for. So,
well, Rodaro is true neutral.
Who are we interested in, guys? Who would you like to be visited by?
I like the adventuring one the most.
The Force Grey, yes!
Myself,
Somebody
as
pick
being
Force
like
Grey.
the coolest adventurer in the world.
Yes.
So
Martina's going for Force Grey.
So, a little backstory with Rodaro will be a hard sell to these factions, but there's one that she'd be most interested. She's against these factions because she believes they failed her in the past. But, we can get into that later.
Ooh, okay.
But the one that she would want to be the one I want her to be visited by is the Emerald Enclave. She would join the Emerald Enclave.
Oh yeah, let's get that Emerald. Oh, I'm so happy about
Rangers, it. Barbarians should be thrown in there too. You know, barbarians. She's going like Path of the Totem Barbarian.
Yeah, and if people want to pick another one of these and like go like you don't all have to have an individual one either. I'm totally cool with individual, or you all picking a similar one. Up to you guys entirely. Yeah. So if Soma, if you want to pick Emerald Enclave or Force Grey, you can do the same.
Emerald Enclave actually. She's going to start gardening, definitely.
That's so good. So okay, cool. I don't have to worry about
when Force Grey shows up though. God. I want to be there for that.
Hopefully Lord Narcissus doesn't. He's probably going to. He's probably going to throw me in another faction. But I'm just so happy it's 2. Thank you guys making it just 2.
Actually, I want to hear their offers. I want to hear what all of them have to say.
Damn it.
I'll be right back. Okay.
And then we'll bring them back for second interviews.
No, I'm cutting that up. We're gonna save me. All right. Yes. Soma is gone for just a quick moment. So I'll save the Emerald Enclave one for later. I don't think we're gonna get into these yet because there's gonna be a lot packed in here. We're gonna have some cool quests. We're gonna have some interactions. There's gonna be some real role play happening. I think with some of this, some decent standard D&D. But we'll probably, since we're at almost 10 minutes, we'll just sort of get them introduced and get you guys in the place. So sometime during the 6-10 days, Martina, you are sitting in your room. You got the Dragon magazine open. You're doing what are you? Does this just be part of your relaxation? What do you think you're doing in the moment you are contacted?
I feel like I'm reading this weird book.
Yeah, there's so many words in it you don't understand, and you're just kind of like, ooh, finally a picture. You're just like, and there's a couple of pictures of like, and they're mostly just sort of maps of Waterdeep's sort of under.
Pictures are boring.
Yeah, and it's just like,
what did I miss?
As you're pouring through the pages,
I butt the shit out of Rodaro because I just yell out and I'm like, what does this word mean?
Rodaro's too. Like, oh, you can go ahead.
You probably know more than Rodaro does.
You anyways.
Out of character, I'll tell you, I got 8 intelligence and 8 wisdom.
Oh, I do know more than Rodaro. I still ask. I'm like, Soma, Rodaro, what does this word mean?
I just answer wrong back every time. I'm like, it means intelligent.
As you go to look back down in the book and concentrate on,
that's weird, but okay.
Yeah, as you go to concentrate back down on the words, one of the pages in your book just turns, and you're like, what? And then they just start flying until they fall into a single page and then stop. And then immediately something completely disorienting happens. A mouth opens on the book. An exquisite mouth. You can see the lips of what looks like a beautiful woman's lips open up, and they begin speaking to you immediately. And the book shakes, and I imagine it says, Martina. And you just immediately... I imagine you... Do you drop the book?
Yeah. I'm like, what the shit?
Watch your language. I am Vajra Safar, the Blackstaff of Waterdeep. You will come to Blackstaff Tower in the castle ward at once. Bring your friends. You
wouldn't tell me what to do.
Says, you will do what you're told, young lady. Bring your friends.
Okay.
There's such a commanding voice that it's like almost you like that, because I don't know if you grew up with parents or not. I don't know if you did. You didn't like that. You didn't know it was there, but that initial tone of a mother figure like sticks in, like, oh God, I should do what she says. Just,
I think
I'm gonna do it.
We had lots of Mongols, so lots of the monks. I think that might invoke something in Martina.
Yes. And we hear from Raja. It's like, you will come at once, young lady, and you will bring your friends. I expect to see you soon. And the book immediately flips. Says, oh, how boring. And that's the last thing you hear. And then it closes. Oh, and that is how we. That is our. That is how we.
Soma.
Yeah. Hear about you.
You've been wants us to go here.
Yeah, you've been called to Blackstaff Tower, which I think will be interesting. It can be a different day, because I think it'd be cool for you guys to go to the factions together. I really like that idea. So your meeting of the factions could be in the same day or the different day, but I think you guys being together would be really cool. So yeah, Blackstaff Tower is a destination for Vajra Blackstaff, which I think will be interesting for next session. For Soma and Rodaro, where are you together when you're contacted? Describe that to me.
I think we're maybe outside trying to plan the stuff that we do.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we're like got like a windowsill planter going.
Yeah.
Immediately, as you guys are planting, a white cat bounces into the garden area.
Kitty.
Rodaro instantly goes into I want to be its friend, but I also want to catch it right now mode.
Yeah, it looks up at you, this pretty white cat, and just lets out just a little meow. And then, as you get close to it, I'm not unfamiliar with this word. Melodous?
Melodonic?
Melodous. Oh, there we go. A melodous.
Melodious?
It's Melodious.
Melodious.
Melodious. I'm sorry. I'm unfamiliar with the word. I'll have to familiarize myself with it later.
I don't know.
It's also because typically you say melody. So
Yeah.
You go la.
Melodious.
but you
Okay.
go
Melodious.
melodious.
Perfect.
Yeah, it changes everything.
Melodious. Thank you. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it's like a melodious male voice comes from within the cat. Interested in joining the Emerald Enclave? Come, meet us at Falconmere in Southernwood. And that voice comes out of the cat, and then it immediately, whether you try to catch it or whatever, it dashes away through the petunias or whatever you're planting, and away. And you can just hear it. You can hear it like meow probably a couple times before completely escaping your grasp. And you are sent your invitation to Falconmere in the Southern Ward to meet at the Emerald Enclave. They are quite interested. Both these factions quite interested in what you have to offer the city of Waterdeep. And I think that's our session, guys. That's the beginning of our chapter 2 of Trollskull Alley. Very good stuff, my friends. Very good stuff. I didn't know if hitting the chapter this way would work out. Hell yeah.
I loved it.
I was like, this. Imagine trying to do all that, like, pacing like a regular D&D session. Like, where are you guys gonna go? Where are you gonna do? Like, too much time.
The next time, I'll give Martina some lip.
Ooh, yeah. For what?
Or as they used to say, some hard dick.
From what? Wait.
That used to mean a stern talking to.
Oh, really?
Hard dick. Okay.
Hard dick.
It does not mean that anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, if I were to tell my kids that I'm going to give them a hard dick tomorrow, as opposed to a stern talking to, I would be arrested.
Oh,
Classic, like,
oh, my players.
scene where it's it's like from a comic book where there's Iron Man and Captain America yelling.
Did they
at each
say
other.
that?
And Captain America, or like, Iron Man is like saying he's going to give Captain America some hard dick. And he does like the thought bubble for Captain America, and it's like, maybe I do need some hard dick.
The way the old, I love it how that works out to like the words of an older generation come in, like we see them from a newer one, and it's just like, why no? How did this turn into a slang? Like, where did we get?
I don't remember who it is. One superhero's name is Richard Rider or Dick Rider.
Oh, of course. No, I know that one, I think. Well, my friends, this has been a very excellent session. Thank you so much for following along with me, and we're going through the things and adding with me, adding to the world. I loved handing you guys over the descriptions of the NPCs. Makes it a hell of a lot easier on me. Lets you come in. We got Solma and her future husband.
And Martina and her future husband.
And Martina with Floon, yeah. Get that serious cash. Oh my god.
I have to say thank you for the bookstore because as me, I love dragons, so I was trying not to freak out too much. And I'm like, oh yes, this is a place I would visit.
Too good. I'll take any opportunity to throw my Tiberius Critical Role voice into the mix any chance I get. Heck yeah, that's all Dragonborn for me. Sorry.
Oh, and I have to say, I never fangirled. I haven't fangirled like that in such a long time. So thank you.
Oh, that's so good. I'm so happy. Excellent. All right. Well, thank you to all those who joined us on the stream. I do believe we had quite a few people watching, and I think that's awesome. And yeah, we will be doing this again. Hopefully next week. We shouldn't have any bumps. Wednesday, same time, 7:30. We start up and we play until 10, and we can see what happens in our next step in the world of Waterdeep. Wait a minute. Dragon Heist. Whoa. Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye.